everybody. Welcome to the Mike Missanelli Show on 97.5, The Fanatic. All right, a little bit of a disjointed show today because we will have Ray Dunn coming in to co-host. Ray is currently getting off an airplane, and he'll be here shortly. Bill Colarulo, unfortunately, is under the weather a second day, so we decided to keep Bill under wraps in his warm bed so he can heal up and maybe join us for tomorrow. And, of course, listen, we can't hide where we are right now. We are inching closer to a monster playoff game that starts an Eagles Super Bowl run. It doesn't get any better than that for a fan base when you have a postseason quest to try to win an actual big prize. I mean, this is a great feeling for people in the Delaware Valley. And you know, depending on who you talk to, it looks pretty good that the Eagles can get that shot in the Super Bowl. And once they get there, we'll decide what happens. But the way everybody is predicting the outcome is that the Eagles will have to go to Detroit eventually to win the NFC title game against a team that will be slightly favored on their home field, a team that's been very good, that has withstood all kinds of injury problems, that has developed the toughness. And, of course, the X factor with the Eagles is how will this quarterback that the Eagles have respond? Now, the news of the day should be that he will be cleared today in preparation for Sunday's game, signaling his progress finally through the concussion protocol. He played or he practiced yesterday, and by all accounts, he looked fine. In fact, I can just quote the left tackle Jordan Mailata in Tim McManus' story today in ESPN. He looked sharp today. It was awesome to have him back. He came back with high energy. All right, so I didn't think that anybody was going to say he looked bad, but it is encouraging that he played, and if he looked sharp, that's wonderful. The important thing is he's going to play. I don't care how sharp he looked in practice yesterday. They probably curtailed the practice for him. I care that he is 100% ready to play a game, and I'm concerned about how they will employ him early in this game. Because, you know, will they throw caution to the wind and say, you know what, he's sharp enough. We don't have to baby him through this game. Let's do what we want to do right away. Let's not be afraid to throw the ball with Jalen Hurts. Let's not just put us in a tight peg and just let Saquon Barkley run the ball. So we'll see when we get there what the game plan will be. But I'm pretty encouraged about this game. I'm looking at some statistics here. The Green Bay Packers, we went over some stats yesterday that indicate the Green Bay Packers are ranked pretty close in every category to the Philadelphia Eagles. And in fact, they're ahead of the Eagles, not in just in a couple defensive categories. The Eagles obviously are the better defense ranked-wise. So let's look at, we have to evaluate this with the game being played in Philadelphia. So if you do that, the Green Bay Packers defense is ranked 24th in away defense. They're ranked 8th in away offense. That's pretty respectable. But 24th on the road, which favors the Eagles considerably because the Eagles have the 6th-ranked home offense and the number 2 ranked home defense. Those numbers give the Eagles a decided advantage in this game. And there are a lot of people, including the guy we talked to yesterday, former Packer John Kuhn, who claims this will be a 2-score victory for the Philadelphia Eagles. But let's take a sidetrack here. Because, you know, if you can see me on the YouTube broadcast, I represent very smallly. I don't get carried away. I've got a little Penn State logo on today for the show, because tonight there's the big game, which gets you to a national championship game, which Penn State hasn't been to since 1986. And I know that because I wrote a book on it. So tonight is a big night for Penn State fans, but it's also a big night for Notre Dame fans. Now, the fraud producing our show today is named Brendan Gunn. And he is in his Joe Montana jersey. He's got all this Notre Dame affection. I need to know this. I read a story today about how Northeast Philly is all gacked up about Notre Dame. I need to know from you Notre Dame fans why you have this ethnic connection to Notre Dame. The last I looked, the Cathedral of Notre Dame is in France. The land that Notre Dame University was built on was owned by Native Americans. Where the Irish connection came is something I need to learn. Why do Irish people adopt Notre Dame as their rooting interest when it comes to college? I know why my rooting interest is Penn State. I went there. Your college is your heart. I understand that people who went to Notre Dame have a connection to Notre Dame. What I do not understand is this overwhelming loyalty because there's some kind of Irish connection. Now, I would love to have you explain this to me. Gunn, first of all, before we go to a break, you explain this to me.
Listen, I don't know where the Irish connection comes to Notre Dame, but much like Nick Sirianni talked about connectivity the other day, I root for them because my family did, my dad did before him, my grandpa did before him, and my great-great-grandpa did before them.
Why did they?
I have no idea.
Well, that's what you got to find out.
I do got to find that out. I got to go deep down the family history.
This is what bugs me about Notre Dame fans. They don't have any idea why they knew for Notre Dame. It just is.
It just is. It just is.
And it offends me, frankly.
Listen, the game tonight's going to offend you a little bit more.
Do I look for an Italian university? If there was a university called Spaghetti U, would I be a fan of that?
Not you, but Bill might.
But Notre Dame's a French cathedral. Where's the Irish thing come in?
Listen, man.
The French and the Irish didn't vibe.
I sprouted onto this earth. I saw the Fighting Irish. I saw that cool logo. And now I'm going to watch them go to a national championship tonight.
All right. You got to, folks, listen, I'm very serious about this. I would love for you to explain your Fighting Irish fandom. And this includes one of the guys that work here who is insufferable with his Notre Dame rooting, Kevin Cooney. Oh, my grandfather liked him, and my grandfather's grandfather liked him, and my nephew. Come on.
It's the way it is.
610-632-0975 is how you get into the show. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. Ray is out. Ray will be here. Bill is out. Gunn's the producer today. Penn State, Notre Dame tonight. Eagles, Green Bay Packers on Sunday. Let's talk about it here. We're back after this.
Andrew DeCecco.
10:13. Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. Let me just add that I think because of this ethnic connection, there are more general fans of Notre Dame than Penn State.
In the area?
In general.
Okay.
In general, there are more numbers of people because you're talking about multi-states and blah, 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 blah. Nobody outside the state of Pennsylvania. In fact, maybe nobody outside the little area of Penn State or if your connection to Penn State is a fan of Penn State. I really have encountered very few people who have no connection to Penn State to have Penn State as a favorite football team.
Do you count living in Pennsylvania as a connection to Penn State? I'm talking
even to people living in Pennsylvania really don't connect with Penn State. Like it's not like people in Pennsylvania don't look at it like it's a state university. Like people in Wilkes-Barre, you think they're Penn State fans? I don't know. I think Penn State fans are only people that have a connection to Penn State, which means they went there or their kids went there or whatever. Somebody has had to attend Penn State for you to like. There are very few general fans of Penn State. There are more general fans of Notre Dame.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat with you on that one. But there's so many people in the general Philadelphia area where I do think there's more Penn State people around here for sure.
Here's why I disagree with that. Because there's a lot of people that went to Temple here. Temple people loathe Penn State. Now, you would think by some measure, since you live in the state of Pennsylvania, since that is the premier college football program in your state, that you would have some kind of affection. In fact, it goes the opposite way. And here's why. And whether John Kincade wants to digest this or not, the people who don't like Penn State, who live in Pennsylvania, who claim that Penn State people and fans are insufferable, say that because they're insecure about their own college.
I'm a Temple grad, and I'll go as far as to agree with you because, I mean, Salciunas, I love him to death, produce a show out there, APing, but he makes it seem like Temple and Penn State are a rivalry. Like, they're not. Like, Penn State looks at Temple football like they're peons. Like, they're nothing.
Listen, Temple just doesn't have the profile, the sports profile that Penn State would have. Therefore, it's natural to be subconsciously jealous of that. Therefore, it's why St. Joe people don't like Villanova people.
Exactly.
Right? It's the elitist thing, and you feel insecure about your own place. If you didn't feel insecure about your own place, you wouldn't be jealous of somebody else's place.
No, not at all. I mean, when you go to Temple games, nobody's there, and I appreciate what they're trying to do there, trying to build back a program, but they don't compare. They don't have a cast of shadow on Penn State.
So what would be the reason for Temple people not to root for Penn State in this game? Because Kincade's already on a record. He's not rooting for Penn State. Penn State people are insufferable, but that's only a reflection of their insecurity. This is what bugs me about it.
Yeah, I never saw the Temple hate for Penn State, and then you hear John doing it all the time. I love John as well, but he despises Penn State.
He's jealous. He won't admit it, but he's jealous of Penn State. He's jealous of the attention that they get. He's jealous of this pristine reputation, whether you want to buy into that or not. I don't buy into it. I just happen to think it's a great school that provides a great education. It's really difficult to get to main campus, and their sports programs are excellent. Every one of them. They just won a national championship in women's volleyball. They're going to win a national championship in wrestling. They may play for a national championship in football. Their basketball program, all right, it's mediocre.
They have a run here or there within the past couple of years. But, I mean, as a Temple alum, I do not like Penn State, but it has nothing to do with Temple.
But I want to go beyond this. I want to bring out these Notre Dame people. Like, for instance, all right, let me just give you some facts. Let me give you some facts about Notre Dame here. Notre Dame was founded on the traditional homelands of the Pokagon Potawatomi, Haudenosaunee, Miami, and Peoria Native Americans.
So why are they the Fighting Irish?
The land was purchased in 1830 by Stephen Baden, the first priest ordained in the United States. It doesn't say if Stephen Baden was Irish. It just says he was the first priest ordained in the United States. who was invited to minister to the Pokagon Potawatomi by Chief Leopold Pokagon. So the Native Americans invited this guy to minister their lands. That was why the land was purchased by this guy. Now, the founders of the university, okay, here's where we get into it. The 4 of the 6 founders of Notre Dame in 1842 were Irish. And nearly all of the successors of the founder, Father Edward Sorin, claim Irish descent. However, Edward Sorin was French.
It's not adding up a little bit, but it doesn't deter me.
I don't understand. I don't get it.
It doesn't deter me as an Irishman rooting for him. It's too long. You can rewrite history a little bit.
Now let me. Here, universities in Italy that were founded by Italians. Are there any in America that were founded by? No Italian founded a university in the United States.
They should have.
Founded by Italians, the University of Bologna. So by all measures, I should be rooting for the University of Bologna.
Oscar
go,
Mayer.
Bologna, go!
You need Oscar Mayer to get a team.
610-632-0975. It's ridiculous! I know, we're off the topic. This is going to be one of those days where we go all over the place. We'll wind it back to the Eagles, don't worry. But ad nauseum, we've talked about the Eagles, and we're going to have Jeffrey Chadiha on, who wrote a story about how he likes the Eagles to get to that Super Bowl. Mike Missanelli Show, 610-632-0975. We're back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Another day closer to kickoff. I'm Brendan Gunn, and this update is brought to you by Beyond Black Friday. Mattress Firm score deep discounts and deeper sleep during Mattress Firm's semi-annual sale and clearance. Get up to 60% off select mattresses and more, plus get a free adjustable base on a qualifying purchase. Yes, we're another day closer to kickoff as the Eagles are set to host the Green Bay Packers in a wild card round this Sunday at 4:30 down at the Link. The main story all week has been Jalen Hurts' health. Well, yesterday he practiced for the first time in 17 days, and all that's left to do for him to clear concussion protocols, report back today with no lingering symptoms, and then he'll be cleared by an independent doctor. So we'll keep you updated all day long here on The Fanatic as far as QB1 status goes. As for Jalen and the rest of the team, Nick Sirianni spoke to the media yesterday and said the results all come down to how they practice.
Yeah, I think we've gotten better as the year has continued on. Again, what do you attribute that to? You attribute that to the way you practice. Same reason why I'm not worried about rust.
The Sixers escaped last night with a 109-103 victory over the Washington Wizards. Tyrese Maxey led the team in scoring with 29 points. The Flyers, they host the Dallas Stars tonight. Puck drops at 7. You can catch that game live right here on The Fanatic. And Penn State takes on Notre Dame tonight in the Orange Bowl, the college football semifinal. Tonight, kickoff is at 7:30. This update was also brought to you by Corona. Join Ricky Bowe and Tyrone Johnson at, oh my gosh, I just dropped the paper. They are at,
The playoffs are here. Philadelphia plays Green Bay in the
6, Mike Missanelli Show. We'll eventually get to discussing the Eagles. Tonight's a big game in college football because both fan bases have a lot invested in it. Penn State fan base, a lot of people think are obnoxious and entitled. I get it. The we are stuff, that gets on my nerves too. The Notre Dame thing is something I truly do not understand, however. And I like to learn. When I do shows, I like to learn from the people who do understand it. Because I've tried to do some research. Now, let me put it in perspective here. If, like way back when, you know, the Irish had big immigration here. Italians came after the Irish. The Irish came first. So when the Irish came over to Ellis Island on a boat, if there was some guy named Colin who then negotiated his way through the new lands of America and became wealthy selling, I don't know, Irish potatoes, not the potato itself, the candy, and became multi-rich. And with that money, he decided to fund and buy a college, which turned into a university that built a golden dome and a touchdown Jesus. And that's why Irish people flocked to Notre Dame. Then I got it. Then I understand the lineage. Until that, I don't understand it because the land was bought by some guy from Native Americans. And a bunch of priests came over, and some guy who was a French priest is the one who founded the university.
He idolized the Irish.
I don't get it. I do not understand it. Now, the Fighting Irish, a lot of people are saying the Fighting Irish name comes from, and I always thought, listen, all immigrants had to fight for their place in society in the New World. So, you know, the Irish had to fight for their place. That's why I always thought it came from. You could say, since the Irish came here first, that, you know, they had to fight for their territory, and that's why they were known as the Fighting Irish. So the Italians couldn't call themselves the Fighting Italians. They came after. They had to fight the Irish. They weren't even allowed into churches, for crying out loud. So what it says here is that the school's nickname, the Fighting Irish, may have, we don't even know for certain, may have originated from the Irish immigrant soldiers who fought in the Civil War.
My great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. What a great guy that guy is. So that's why I root for Notre Dame.
It says may. This is just a guess. It's not even confirmed. And the brigade's chaplain, Father William Corby, who, with all due respect, probably didn't pick up a musket.
I wouldn't think so.
Right. Later became the school's third president. So, I listen, I don't know. I just know that it's out of whack. Like, listen, I grew up in a little town too that had this Irish thing where they rooted for Notre Dame, and peculiarly there were some Italians in this group. Like they would arrange these trips to go to South Bend to see a Notre Dame game, and I never understood it.
Italians were in it?
Yeah, there were some Italians in it. It was like a Notre Dame club in my little town, Bristol Borough. And you know, there were a lot of pockets of immigrants in where I grew up, but a lot of Italians were in that club and idolized Notre Dame. And the only thing I can think at was the Catholic connection, because there were two Catholic churches in my little town. Catholicism was big in my little town, and maybe it's the Catholic thing that really, you know, in fighting for acceptance to Catholics here, maybe they gravitated to that church connection. I don't know. With Notre Dame and
I can't.
The cathedral.
When I think about it, all the random people that I know that like Notre Dame, they're all Irish. Like, I don't think I've ever ran into an Italian. So that
I can tell you that there were a lot of. This is weird because there was a Notre Dame club in Bristol, and a lot of Italians were members of that club. It's one thing I never understood, but I was a kid. I wasn't going to fight authority.
Sometimes it's just easier to pick the winners, I guess.
I guess. I don't know. All right, let's start with Jake and Delco. Jake, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Jake.
Hey, Mike.
What's up, Jake?
So I've been friends with Brendan for a very long time, and I respect him tremendously.
Okay.
But he has a history of being called out on The Fanatic for being a fraudulent fan.
He is a fraudulent fan. I just want to deal with this Notre Dame worship that he has, and I want to deal with it with Kevin Cooney, who works here too. I don't just because your ancestors like Notre Dame, you have no individuality. I don't get that.
It's the same reasoning that Cowboys fans in Philadelphia use. Oh, my dad was a Cowboys fan, so I root for the Cowboys.
And listen, I know that's a lot of people look at that. Well, that's a sign of respect for your father and your grandfather. To a point, you don't have to respect everything they believed. A lot of those people had archaic, bigoted views too. We weren't supposed to take those too.
I agree 100%.
All right.
So, but anyway, I still love Begon.
All right. Yeah. Well, listen, he's one of these a Notre Dame guy. What's your background? Where'd you go to school?
Like high school?
No, college.
Temple.
You went to Temple.
Yeah, but I went to Temple much later. Much later. I was 24 by the time I went to Temple.
And so most people at Temple pick an a la carte school because obviously they can't summon pride in their own football program.
Maybe if I went there like as an undergrad, 18 to 22, like a normal kid, I lived there, I lived it every day, went to sporting events, maybe I would have switched. But I worked a full-time job, took the train up there at nights and stuff like that. So I was just in and out. Didn't really feel a connectivity to the school.
I hate to stomp on Temple people, but I would love for you to go into my confessional and explain your jealousy of Penn State. I know where it comes from. I just want to hear you say it.
Me?
Penn State, but no, not you, but in general, Temple people. Like a guy like Kincade. I love that guy. Here's the thing. Penn State is everything that people go to Temple is not. Because Penn State has this glistening sport, big time football aura to it, and Temple doesn't. And when you don't have that, you feel insecure about it. That's where the Temple hate comes from. Temple doesn't have the same campus splash, as a Penn State would have. So Temple people, instead of going, I like going to Temple. I know it's not Penn State. Instead, they blanch at it. And they go, we hate Penn State. Like, it works the opposite way for Temple people. And I love Temple people. Listen, I love them. I love their mission. I love the fact that you can get an education there and you can do it while you stay in the area. I get all that. But I blanch at the jealousy and the hatred for Penn State.
I don't even know where they have grounds to be jealous. Like, they're not playing. They're not even in the same tier as like a Penn State when it comes to football.
That's where the jealousy comes from. They hate the fact that they don't have that, and it manifested.
But is it the idea that they think they could have that?
No, it just is. So they live with it. They have to live with it, and instead of just accepting it, they look at it like, oh, Penn State's the enemy. It's just an insecurity.
It's like if Drexel looked at UNC and hated UNC for whatever reason because they have good basketball and we don't. Like that, you're never going to get there.
I'm sure Drexel people look at Penn the same way.
That's fair. Yeah.
Oh, Ray Dunn is in the studio. Ray Dunn has walked in. Right, fresh off an airplane. What's up, Ray?
Oh, nothing much. Happy to be here. Good. Jeez, the first half hour of the show, I wanted to fight both of you sitting in my car.
Ray is here, which means we were going to do General Knowledge Thursday today because it is Thursday. So now that Ray's here, a special bonus. Now, Ray, what are we giving away at the end?
Oh, we're giving away. That's a great thing. We are giving away. It is in my inbox, and I had it for you.
We're giving away 4 passes to the auto show.
That's right, auto show. 5, I think. I think actually 5 today.
5?
Yeah.
5 sets?
5 sets, yeah.
5 sets of passes to the auto show. 5 sets of 2 tickets to the auto show. So that's cool. That's next week. The auto show is a big thing.
Yeah, 5 winners.
All right, so we'll talk.
4-pack tickets.
So we'll talk Penn State, Notre Dame. We'll talk about this Irish connection. We'll get around to talking about the Eagles. We have Beat Ray in General Knowledge. It's a big day to be on the horn today. 610-632-0975. We have a fraud Notre Dame guy producing the show and Brandon guy. We have all kinds of activity today. Don't miss this show. We're back after this.
It's time for Birds Playoff Conversation.
I feel Of long walk to get coffee and our shorter breaks. So, Ray, back from Florida.
Yes, beautiful.
Where
down
he
there.
broadcasted Temple ladies basketball game against FIU and rushed back to get to the studio. So, Ray, on the airplane, what time was your flight?
I was a 7:14.
7:14 flight, and it was not very crowded, was it?
No, not crowded at all.
So, Ray, you like to sit at the window?
I love the window seat.
You're a window seat man. I'm more of an aisle because I like to stick my foot in the aisle to give more space.
I use the side of the plane as kind of like a headrest.
All right, so you got one of those rows where there's no one
Wonderful.
else in the row. That's a miracle. So you got the window seat and you got two seats to your right.
Wide open. Nobody's there.
Wide open. So what happens from there?
Some guy decides, and it's fine. There's a big group in front of me. It's a couple families that I guess were on vacation together. And he decides, well, from my row of 3 people, I'm just going to move back 2 rows and sit on the aisle seat where there's 2 empty seats. Fine. Cool with it.
Yeah. Okay, so now there's somebody in the aisle seat, but the middle seat is open.
Still wide open. Now,
Okay.
the row in front of us, his daughter's sitting there. Young daughter, and with a couple other people they're traveling with. He decides about an hour into the flight. He's had a couple Bloody Marys. I feel like that's pretty important.
Uh-huh.
He starts, hey, come sit back here with me. Come back here. Come sit here.
Uh-oh.
He's getting a little loud, too. For a guy that was shushing his kids about a half hour ago, he's getting a little loud trying to encourage her to come back.
Got a couple in him.
Yeah.
He wants the kid now to sit next to him, which now intrudes on you because it's the middle seat.
It's the middle seat. And I'm not saying anything, but in my head, no, please, no. Thank goodness. Daughter decides, nah, I'm good where I am. I'm going to sit here on my iPad and continue. He was a little disappointed. I was thrilled. For a second, I felt like a bad person. I realized, wait a second. You guys, there's no reason for her to sit here. You guys are going to the same place. You've spent all this time in Florida together. Don't infringe on my travel by putting your daughter in the middle seat.
Now here is, see, you're saying this now like it's like a tough guy. Had that little girl come and sat in that middle seat, would you have alerted the authorities?
No, I'm not going to do that. Why would I get them involved? I would be quietly stewing. That's how I get
because they
frustrated.
don't have a right to that seat. That's not their seat. It doesn't say their seat. That seat on the ticket.
Yeah, but can you imagine being the guy? Hey, excuse me, flight attendant over here.
Well, you'd probably be, would make you a dick, probably, right?
Yeah, be a bad person for that one.
I get it. I'm just, do you have the right to be uncomfortable though? Once you were comfortable and you were settled in, and you now had ownership of that comfortableness, somebody disturbed it. They don't have ownership of your comfortableness. You had the ownership.
I know. I felt like I was entitled to it. But if they made the move, if they brought the door back, what am I going to be?
Oh, all right. Let me put it this way. Would you have given the flight attendant the eyeball?
No, probably not. I would have silently stewed.
Yeah, I would have. I would have given the eyeball. Now, if the flight attendant didn't pick up on it, I'm done.
Yeah.
Well, the eyeball, I would have given. Come
on.
What you want from me? One of those deals.
I would have kind of maybe given the side eye to the guy. I'm like, oh man, really, doing this, but really, I'm not going to have a confrontation.
Right.
It's too early in the morning.
You did the right thing, and you got away with it anyway.
Thank goodness.
Okay, so here's the deal for general knowledge, folks. Our categories where you have to top Ray, and Ray doesn't even have a lifeline today. Don't tell me you would go to that Notre Dame fraud
no.
for a
I
lifeline.
got some knowledge of this medulla oblongata up here.
Yeah, Bill is not here, so you got no lifeline whatsoever. So I make the audience. I'll make the audience a 7.5 point favorite today.
Oh yeah, I'm running on no sleep too. So
yeah, and no sleep.
Yeah, my
and
brain's
perturbed
nowhere.
because of a guy had 2 Bloody Marys and wanted to have his kids smash in with you. All right, so the categories are general knowledge. I looked at this. It's hard. You get no shot.
All right.
Tom Cruise movies. You might have a shot at that. And your NFL playoff history quiz, which you may have a shot.
Yeah, that'll be the reason I
All
get
right.
points today.
Yeah. Okay. So there we go with that. Meanwhile, let's get to the phones with this Penn State Notre Dame thing, which I'm trying to understand. So Sean in Wilmington checks in. Sean, go ahead.
Hey, Michael.
What's up, Sean?
Great to talk to you. So, can you hear me?
I got you, buddy.
Okay. So, name is Sean. Grew up Irish Catholic kid. Really, I don't think we have a lot of choice when you come from the Delco area. You're pretty much programmed with a Notre Dame onesie once you show up.
Well, and why is that? Because of the parental influence?
The thing is, I got a long story here where I divorced myself from Notre Dame. I don't know, but I knew every word. You know, wake up the Echoes, cheering her name. You know, the whole thing. I knew it all.
Yeah.
I went out. My dad took me to a Notre Dame game, and probably about junior year of high school, I realized I'm not going to get into Notre Dame. Like, I can't go to Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. And I'm no dummy, Mike. I mean, I went to a good school. I went to Virginia Tech. And
you're a Hokie.
I'm a Hokie.
Yeah.
And I don't know, not many, only a Hokie would know this, is that the year after we went to the national title game, Vic drug us to within a grasp of the national title. The next year, we go 11-1, and the only loss we had was to that juggernaut Miami team. You know, the Shockey, Dorsey, all those guys.
Yeah.
But guess who got to go to the other FCS Bowl? Notre Dame. A 9-3, I believe. Yeah. Notre Dame that went to play Oregon State and got smoked 41-9.
Yeah.
That was a wrap. That was a wrap.
So now you hate Notre Dame because of that, because they got favorable status.
It hit me in the face. I'm like, this is absurd.
They do get favorable status, Sean.
What's that?
They do get favorable status. To the point where James Franklin took a shot at him 2 days ago in the press conference.
Why are people upset about this?
He said, well, you know, you should be in a conference because you play a conference championship game. And, you know, he's hinting at Notre Dame didn't have to go through that because of its independent status. You know, whatever. I get it. I'm just looking at, here's the thing. If you go to a school, he went to Virginia Tech. All right, they've got a viable football program. If you go to a school that has a viable football program, you can't possibly be a Notre Dame fan. Can't. Because then you have your own thing.
Don't look at me. I agree with this.
Right?
I don't understand the Notre Dame thing.
Okay, you don't understand the Notre Dame thing.
I'm Irish.
If I
don't
would do
get
a
it.
big-time college football school, then I would probably have thrown out my Notre Dame fandom.
That's a lie. That's just a lie.
Well, he went to Temple.
Yeah, you
doesn't count.
Actively root for another Big Five school in basketball. That's a lie. You would not have thrown out Villanova.
If I went there when I was 18 and 22 and lived it every single day, I would have switched.
You have no credibility whatsoever. You really?
Why?
Ray's right, because you're a Villanova fan who went to Temple. That is the worst. But
I went there 2 nights a week.
Well, you got a degree from Temple?
Yeah, I went there for 2 years, 2 nights a week. You called it a day.
Does your degree have a T on it?
Yeah.
Well, like, if your degree has a T, like
the Lou Klein School, I'll represent them until I die. Temple Owls basketball, I could do without.
That's not how that
Temple
works.
has a rich basketball tradition.
Yeah, sixth school ever to win what? What was it? Ray was on the call.
2000.
Yeah. It was a great call by Ray over there.
Plus, they were
no,
in
you're not
how
gonna-
many regional finals under Cheney?
Listen.
That was a powerful program.
So if some guy wants to redo his life and he goes to college when he's 36 years old and he grew up rooting for another school, out of nowhere he's got to switch because he went there for 2 years?
Oh, these freaks wearing Notre Dame stuff. That Casey boy just walks by.
Oh, Casey.
Notre
Come
Dame jersey.
on.
He's a great guy. Out
Expected
there.
more out of Casey boy.
A guy like Casey's Irish, so yeah. So no, but here's the thing about you, Ray. It doesn't get any more Irish than the last name Dunn. So tell me about your family's association with Notre Dame.
I don't understand how my dad graduated from Adelco High School, is an Irishman, and not a Notre Dame
He's
fan.
not a Notre Dame fan.
No.
All right, so
He survived.
All right, so he was able to withstand the lure.
Yeah. I don't get it.
I appreciate that because he's a man who had his own brain and his own mindset. And not lured
that down to me.
lured in by the lure of Catholicism
Wake up the
and
Echoes.
fighting Irish.
4 horsemen ride tonight.
632-0975. Well, I hope Penn State wins this game. I'm never gonna. I won't rest easy. These Notre Dame people will have this thing on me the rest of my life. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatics sports updates.
Another day closer to kickoff, and let's try this read again. This update is brought to you by Corona. Join Ricky Bowe and Tyrone Johnson at 97.5 The Fanatic's official Birds playoff watch party at Ladder 15 at Sansom Street in Center City, Philadelphia. This Sunday at 4 p.m. presented by Corona, and enter for a chance to win exclusive football prizes. Yes, we're another day closer to kickoff as the Eagles are set to host the Green Bay Packers in the wild card round this coming Sunday at 4:30 p.m. The main story all week has been Jalen Hurts' health. Well, yesterday he practiced for the first time in 17 days, and all that's left for him to do to clear concussion protocol is report back today with no lingering symptoms, and then he'll be cleared by an independent team doctor. So we'll keep you updated all day long as far as QB1 status goes. The Sixers last night, they escaped with a narrow victory, 109-103 over the NBA worst Washington Wizards. Tyrese Maxey led the team in scoring with 29 points. The Flyers, they host the Dallas Stars tonight at 7. You can listen to that game right here on The Fanatic. And Penn State, they take on Notre Dame in the Orange Bowl. The college football semifinal kickoff is at 7:30. This update was also brought to you by ExpressPros.com. Hire for logistics roles with Express Employment Professionals. They'll take care of recruiting, interviewing, and more. Then supply your workforce with what you need. Visit ExpressPros.com for a location. I'm Brendan Gunn on the home of the 76ers and the Flyers, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
I got this down so cold, like I read a thesis on it, where the Penn State hate comes from and why. My partner here, Ray Dunn, is loath to root for Penn State tonight. He was just asked on our, what Dylan does the, what is that called?
The Instagram.
The Instagram highlights of predictions. And he said, okay, Ray, what's your thoughts on tonight's game? And Ray said, chaos. You can't bring yourself.
It's the Chaos Bowl.
You can't bring yourself to say, I'm a Pennsylvania guy. I hope Penn State beats Notre Dame. They're from Indiana. You can't let yourself do it. And so Dylan comes down. I go, Dylan, who you root for? He can't root for Penn State either because he's Rutgers. And it all comes down to one word. It starts with a J. Jealousy, my friend. Jealousy. What other explanation could it be that you, even you, can't commit to wanting Penn State to beat Notre Dame tonight, and Dylan can't commit to hoping Penn State beats Notre Dame?
I told you. I got friends that went to Penn State. I hope for their sake
I don't
they
care
win.
about their friends. I'm talking about you. You're a Pennsylvania native.
Yeah.
They
all right.
represent the state.
Okay.
You can't
think
do
across
it
the country?
because you have a Temple thing with you that prevents you from giving any credit to Penn State University.
You think across the country everyone's like, you know what? My state college is the one I ride with. Like, that's the way this works? No. You say it all the time. Your college is your heart. My heart's Temple. I'm not going to fake heart for you.
But in lieu of Temple not playing in the Final Four tonight, there is a team that represents the state that's playing.
Do you need a rooting interest in every game you watch?
Oh, my God. You're such a...
Ray's red beard has a mind of its own. Like his heart wants to go Penn State, but the beard's telling him no.
It's so lame. It's like, it's so... You know, I'm gonna, and for all you Notre Dame people that are giving me this Irish thing, I decided I'm going to do this. I'm going to found a university in some Italian-oriented city. I can't even tell you where that would be, but it's going to be called Linguini U, and I'm going to have a major in tortellini. And so all the Italians then could root for this particular school because it has some kind of Italian connection.
Now I might get behind that.
Instead of the Irish logo like this, it's going to be the Italian guy going like this
Yeah.
with the fingers.
Yeah, see? Even him now, he's going with the he's going with the Tommy Cutlets thing. See that?
That could be the logo. That could be the logo.
I'll try not to be offended by your stereotyping.
You call me a drunk Irishman.
No, I don't do that. Call you a fighting Irishman.
As an Irishman, he is one.
Fighting a little leprechaun. Let's go. Let's fight for the Irish. A little leprechaun.
Where's me Lucky Charms?
All right. Let's take a break. Actually, we're not taking a break. It's time for me to tell you that we are represented here by WPEN. WPEN. I don't have this written down.
No worries.
Brandon Gunn didn't come up big for me.
We got it.
Here it is.
It is on that page.
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock, and you're listening to WPEN and WPEN HD, Burlington, Philadelphia. A Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. Do we have any text board heat here?
Yeah, we do got some text messages coming in. Let's see what we got.
Would you like to put that down on the screen, maybe? Like, it would be nice. Like, hey, we got some text here.
Do a little
You're
bit
all
different on the
carried away
morning.
with your freaking Irish rooting system today.
All right, we got John checking in on the road. I wonder who this could be. He says he really wanted to be first in line on the text board. Mm-hmm. He says Mike doesn't realize that he's the commercial spokesperson for why Temple people hate Penn State.
I am? How? How is that? Tell me, because a lot of people use that as an excuse. How am I insufferable? I have criticized Penn State's program. I am on the record saying I rarely wear Penn State stuff. I've never even bought anything with Penn State on it. I have criticized the head coach ad nauseum. I've admitted that I don't get into the we are Penn State thing. Tell me how I'm insufferable. The only thing I'm challenging here is why people hate Penn State and why there are more people that are in this listening audience right now who are Notre Dame fans more than they are Penn State fans. Because for some reason, Penn State rubs people in Pennsylvania the wrong way. So you explain to me how I'm the elitist.
I will say, to your credit on this one, the thing that I am annoyed most by Penn State fans, you do not do. And it's the James Franklin, the word. This year, hey, listen, you're now in the Final Four, so I really can't even start to have this annoyance with you. But the idea that you are this top-level, elite-level program that's consistently there, you guys have been 10-2 with losses to Michigan and Ohio State year in and year out.
That's a minority view, by the way. That's the
loudest view around me.
That's the Happy Valley view, which you know that I don't participate in. I have complained for years about how they haven't been in a national championship game since 1986. You think I don't notice that? You think I haven't complained about that a school with those kind of facilities and how lofty that program is cannot get into a situation like I've complained about it ad nauseum.
And that's why I don't see you as the insufferable Penn State
But now
fan.
that they are there is still this backlash towards Penn State, and that's what I don't get. You people from Temple, just give it up for one frickin' year. My God, it's embarrassing that you people from Temple can't bring yourself to root for a team tonight against a team that's in South Bend, Indiana.
Oh, yeah. I don't want Notre Dame to win.
Oh, you want both teams, to collide and tie? And collide, knock themselves out, and tie? Is that what you want?
I don't want anyone get knocked out.
You're a fraud, right?
I want to play.
You're a fraud. Just
100,
like
100.
Gunn is a fraud.
25 overtimes.
Pat in Malvern. Pat, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Pat.
Yo, Mike, you missed. How you doing?
How you doing, Pat?
By the way, Rudy was offside for everybody out there in Delaware Valley. All right, here's why I love...
Let me tell you something about Rudy. When Rudy comes on, it's mistakenly on my TV, I break out in hives.
Yeah, it's just one of those crazy movies.
I swear to God, red welts come all over my body when that movie comes on. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, this is like football nirvana for Philadelphia Penn State fans with the Eagles and Penn State. So, first and foremost, I'm an Eagles fan. I went to Penn State, so I'm a huge Penn State fan. But I really believe in this team. Drew Aller looks freaking great right now. And then how are you going to stop the Lawn Boys tonight with K-Tron and Nick Singleton? They're probably going to go off for 150 or 200, just the both of them.
Yeah, see, let me reveal something. I think Notre Dame wins. All right?
Why do they win?
I can see. Here's why. I think because they have such a really fast defense, that a smart defensive coordinator, they're going to try to limit the run as much as they can. They're not going to limit it all, but they're going to limit Tyler Warren. I think their game plan is to take him out of the game. And the reason why I think that that's going to be successful is because Penn State does not have enough difference-making wide receivers. They've got one guy who can streak the field, but Notre Dame plays a cover one. So they're never going to be able to complete a long pass.
Sure, but they're going to have to stop both the run game and the tight end. You really think they can load up to do that?
I think Notre Dame's defense is really good.
All right, I'll give you that, but...
See, I'm an insufferable Penn State fan. I just reveal who I think the better team in this game is.
I don't know, Mike. I really like the Nittany Lions. I feel like they're going to be down at halftime, down by 7, but then that defense shows up in the second half, and they throw up 21 in the second half, man.
Listen, I hope you're right, Pat. I can only give you how I feel. Do you want to play General Knowledge against Ray?
Yeah, let's do it, Ray.
This creep that I'm doing the show with today who can't bring himself to root for Penn State? All right, let's start out with general knowledge category because I want to get Ray right behind the 8 ball right away here. Okay. What is the equivalent of a hurricane when it starts in the Northwest Pacific Basin?
They call that like they happen in the winter out there. It's like a monsoon, but I don't know if I have it right. It's like an atmospheric river, right?
I can't give you a hint. It's one word. All right.
Monsoon. I don't know.
It's close, but it's not. Ray, do you have this?
Is it tsunami?
No. Good. It's a typhoon.
Typhoon.
Yeah. A typhoon.
Typhoon, monsoon,
is the correct
tsunami,
answer.
all those things. Yeah. So close.
Yeah, I'm nervous about the game. Penn State's an underdog in the game. I wouldn't have expected that. And that tells me a little something. I don't know. Notre Dame is a turnover-getting defense. I believe that this passing game is going to... I like Drew Aller a lot, but the lack of dynamic, difference-making wide receivers spells turnover to me.
Correct.
Now, wait a second.
What?
You mentioned this defense. Do I get any credit for not taking the Temple angle here and rooting for Notre Dame strictly because they've got the guy that saved my football program?
Who, Al Golden?
Yeah.
What do you care about Al Golden at this point? He's 100 years removed from Temple.
There's the Temple tie. If I was going to go true Temple in this one
Temple
and
tie.
really hate on
you know Al Golden, where he went to college?
Yeah, I know.
He was a tight end for Penn State.
I am aware of that.
It completely wipes away your Temple
It
connection.
does not at all, because I don't have any
because
connection
your
on that
college
one.
is your heart.
Right, and Al
Penn
Golden
State
saved my football program.
Al Golden's heart is a big blue heart.
But it had some cherry and white in it.
Temporarily.
And saved that football program.
610-632-0975 back after this.
Tyrone Johnson.
How many teams in the NFL could sit out 5?
It's Penn State Notre Dame thing. That's all right. Tomorrow could be Football Friday. We'll talk about the Eagles. The Eagles play somebody this weekend. They play the Packers, right?
That's right.
Play the Packers. They're favorite by 4.5. I think all week we've been talking about how the Eagles are the better team. We've kind of been fast-forwarding it to they should be able to win 2 games at home here. No matter who comes here in the second game, they should be able to beat the Packers and handle Tampa Bay Bucks or whoever they're going to play in that second round. And it's a collision course of the Detroit Lions, an NFC title game in Detroit. And we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So the news of today is that Jalen Hurts practiced yesterday. And today he will be probably pronounced ready to go because through the concussion protocols, this is the last step. And a lot of people that saw the practice say he looks sharp. I don't even know what that means. He looks sharp. Like, what are they doing?
Remember, he had that long interceptionless streak in training camp.
Yeah, he looked sharp. I assumed he was, I don't know how they were practicing, how hard they were practicing. Jordan Mailata said it was awesome to have him back. He came back with high energy. Huh?
I'd love to find the teammate that would say afterwards, he didn't look that great in practice.
That's what I was saying earlier on. Nobody's going to actually say he looked bad.
Right.
So
looked like he was in practice, probably. I mean,
yeah. The good news is we won't have to worry about Tanner McKee and how everybody is now in love with Tanner McKee, and he could have beaten the Packers. Yeah. So we don't have to deal with that angle.
Well, Green Bay seems like they're dealing with the angle of quarterback problems right now.
Yeah.
Hopeful. There's no way he's not playing, right?
No.
Jordan Love?
No, he's going to play. And that's your boy.
Yeah. He is.
So, as that quarterback being your boy, do you think the Packers have a chance to win that game?
No. I'll be honest with you. I keep getting more and more confident in this matchup as we get closer and closer to it.
Yeah, I actually, I think it's a 2-touchdown game, actually.
I saw what John Kuhn yesterday said,
Kuhn
what,
said
2 touchdowns?
Score. He said 2-score game.
I'm going to be on their sidelines rooting for it not to be that way.
Yeah.
Jeez.
All right. So, in any event, we'll talk about that more tomorrow. The show will be on the road tomorrow. Is this the first show we've done on the road?
You had the Sixers event.
Oh, we were at Sixers training camp.
It was like the first week.
Tomorrow we're at Rally House in Willow Grove. Now, that will either be a big sales day for Penn State gear or Notre Dame gear.
Do they sell? Right, you would know this. Is there Notre Dame gear?
Sure.
Oh, there's Notre Dame gear. Yeah. Got some stuff for Christmas.
Oh, yeah. You can't mean
it might be bigger than the Penn State section.
It probably is. That's why I said there's more Notre Dame fans than there are Penn State fans. Penn State fans only are connected to the university. They are hated beyond the university.
You're looking at me to say,
look at you, because you're one of the haters.
I don't hate them.
You push it down, but you're a hater.
Hate would be just overflowing. I would be so angry.
Jelly.
I'm not angry.
Jelly.
Let's
go to Tom in Doylestown. Tom, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Tom.
Hey, good morning. Thanks
What's
for
up,
having
Tom?
me on.
How you doing?
So, born and bred Notre Dame from Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Born and bred. That means you would have grown up in South Bend. But Hershey,
Peoria,
Pennsylvania.
Illinois.
Oh, your family's from Peoria.
Illinois.
That's where Bradley is. That's not where Notre Dame
My parents
is.
are Bradley alumni.
Uh-huh.
My grandparents.
So there you go. You got a Bradley connection, and yet Notre Dame is your school.
Well, it's really the Catholic connection. I think you touched on it. That's the bottom line.
The Catholic connection. The Irish Catholic connection. Because I'm a Catholic. I don't have any connection to Notre Dame.
But you should.
Why?
Because that's like the pilgrimage for all of the U.S. Catholics.
No, it's not. In fact, it's the opposite. You remember The Godfather when they were bringing the statue of Jesus through the streets and people were tacking money to it? You know why that was? Because the Italians had to worship in the street. The Irish wouldn't let them in their churches. You should know your history if you're going to be a big Catholic.
Hey.
All right, go ahead.
That's not nice. The Catholics are going to pray for you too, Mike.
I went to a Catholic church. It was the Italian Catholic Church. I had no connection to Notre Dame.
Well,
but I'm going to found a university called Linguini University, so I can have a football team that I can root for.
Good NIL situation.
No, I think it's more the culture versus the ethnicity.
Explain the culture to me, because I want to learn.
I do.
Because you're Irish, and because this land that Notre Dame was built on was actually purchased from Native Americans. where does the Irish connection come from?
Well, I think you told us earlier that it was purchased by a missionary who ended up in Indiana.
Who was
and
French.
The first two priests
Who was
were
French.
Irish.
Yeah, but he was French, the guy that found it.
Right, and the first two people that you talked about were Irish. Were all Catholic.
I'm just messing with you, Tom, because you can't explain your way out of this, right?
I know. I grew up. Hey, what I loved was my starter jacket with the leprechaun on the back.
Oh, of course.
I'm sitting here next to an autographed football.
And this is really interesting. See, this is the thing. Penn State fans are repulsive. Like, that guy just taught you about his little jacket with his leprechaun and his Irish Catholic thing. But Penn State people are the ones that are insufferable.
You're not getting me to say that one's more insufferable than the other. This is why I wanted this bowl to happen, because the two sides colliding are the unstoppable force of the immovable object, just colliding in just chaos. This is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see those two fan bases go at it.
His family came from Peoria. Well, naturally, they have to be Notre Dame fans, don't you think?
Well, I just looked up Bradley football.
That's what I'm saying. Ray, you're from Oaks. Naturally, you should be a Penn State fan.
Or
it's
Maryland.
The same rationale.
We're closer to University of Maryland than we are to Happy Valley.
I'm an Ursinus College fan. The Bears were just minutes away from where I grew up. Better believe that's my hometown
Swarthmore
team.
Garnet over here.
We're talking about Division One. Well, hold on a second. How far is Peoria?
I don't know, but I found out that Bradley.
South Bend. South Bend's near Chicago. Crying out loud. All right. It's 3 hours and 42 minutes. Peoria is from South Bend.
Which is about Philadelphia to State College.
Yes, which means you should be you should be rooting for Penn State.
You just said that guy had no case, and now you're saying that I should be a fan by his case. You can't apply his standards after taking apart his standards. You just said he had nothing, and now you're saying he has something.
And it takes 15 hours by bus.
Well, now he really has no case.
15 hours by bus.
Well,
what a geographical connection.
His family's probably still grieving Bradley discontinuing the football program in 1970, all right? He's gone through a tough time.
Give me 3 players that went to Bradley.
Stewart, Sean, and I don't know.
Come on, man. Basketball players. One played for the Sixers.
I got nothing for you on this one. I don't know my Bradley history like that.
Hersey Hawkins.
This came up when we were doing general knowledge.
And the Candace Parker's brother, Anthony Parker.
Huh. Yeah, there you go.
On,
There's
Ray.
some Bradley knowledge for you.
All right.
I didn't have a lot of it.
Take a break. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Inching closer to kickoff. I'm Brendan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update, and it is brought to you by Corona. Join Ricky Bowe and Tyrone at 97.5, the Fanatics official Birds playoff watch party at Ladder 15 on Sansom Street in Center City this Sunday at 4 p.m. presented by Corona, and enter for a chance to win exclusive football prizes. Yes, we're inching closer to game day as the Eagles are set to host the Green Bay Packers this coming Sunday at the Link at 4:30 in the wild card round of the playoffs. The main story all week surrounding the Birds has been the health of Jalen Hurts. Well, yesterday he practiced for the first time in 17 days, and all that's left for him to do to clear concussion protocols report back today with no lingering symptoms. We'll keep you updated all day long as far as QB1 status goes. The Sixers last night, they escaped with a 109-103 win over the NBA worst Washington Wizards. Tyrese Maxey led the team in scoring with 29 points. The Flyers host the Dallas Stars tonight at 7 p.m. You can listen to that game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic, and Penn State takes on Notre Dame tonight in the Orange Bowl. It is the semifinal of the college football playoff. Kickoff for that game is at 7:30. This update was also brought to you by Indeed.com. You don't need a job site, you need a hiring platform. Indeed lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from one place. Start at Indeed.com/credit. I'm Brendan Gunn on the home of the 76ers and the Flyers, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Ball game Sunday. Eagles and Packers have been talking about it all week, getting various opinions on who the stronger team is in this playoff series, not just in this game. And a man who is very high on the Eagles' chances to get to the Super Bowl joins us right now. He's a senior writer for NFL.com. Jeffrey Chadiha joins us. Hello, Jeff.
How you guys doing?
Fantastic. Now, Jeff, it's really interesting. There's a disparity in evaluation about the Eagles as we go into this playoff series here. And some people nationally have them ranked as low as fifth in priority, but you got them pretty high. You got them as your second-ranked team going into the playoffs here, right behind the Buffalo Bills. So talk about what impresses you right now about the Eagles and why you think that they're a Super Bowl team.
Well, you're talking about a team that was in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. A lot of those guys are still around. They've won 12 of their last 13 games, and the one game they lost, quarterback got hurt in the first quarter, and they still got 5 turnovers and almost won the game. And they have the best roster in football, as far as I'm concerned. And you look at their offense, their defense, every level, every position. You've got Pro Bowl players. I know Jalen Hurts coming back from this concussion. It's a big factor in all of this, and hopefully he's going to be healthy. But the only reason I like them over the Lions is because the Lions are so banged up defensively, and they have to win a certain kind of way. I think the Eagles can win multiple ways, and that makes it pretty impressive to me.
Wow. Well, that's pretty high tribute. But let's talk about the quarterback, because this has been shrouded in mystery for many days here. And yesterday he gets on the field, and, players are going to say, oh, he looked great. I mean, I don't know. We won't know, and he'll be pronounced ready to go, I guess, today. So how much of a factor is he in this game? They're a 4.5-point favorite, so the odds makers don't think that he's going to suffer at all. So what do you think about it?
Well, it's always a big factor when the quarterback might not be 100%. And, it's the thing about that injury, and I'm not trying to parse concussions here or minimize head injuries, but it just seems like, Tua Tagovailoa was out, 5 games, and took a pretty good shot when he went down, and Jalen Hurts has been out for almost a month. And it didn't seem like that as big of a hit. Again, I'm not a doctor. I don't know what's going on in his head. But to me, it felt like that's probably enough time to get him back to a place where he could be competent. Now, that said, I don't think they're going to be out there running him 15 times and doing the tush-push whenever they can. I do believe Saquon Barkley is going to have a heavier load in this game. But again, the Packers, I like them a lot, but they're missing Jair Alexander, which is a big loss to their secondary. They lost Christian Watson, which is a big loss to their passing game. I think those matchups, when you look at the Eagles secondary, when you look at what A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith could do against the Packers, I think that helps mitigate what Jalen Hurts is going through with his head.
Let's look at the strategy now behind this. I don't know. Do you start Hurts off slow? Do you get the running game established? And you just mentioned Jair Alexander, where they may be susceptible. Or do you come right out and you say, I know you guys are going to try to stop the run, so we're going to throw. We're going to get A.J. Brown involved real early.
Yeah, well, they're big on slow starts around there, right? So.
Yeah, occasionally.
I think starting slow is going to be what's going to happen regardless of the strategy. But, no, I think you start off and you try to establish the run game, and you try to see what, how the Packers are going to play you, what you can accomplish. And then you go. I don't think you come out right away guns blazing trying to hit home run shots. Because I think Jalen Hurts might be rusty, and it might put you into some long yard situations early, and you don't want that. So I think they're probably going to be a little bit more cautious, try to feel their way into it, and then see what they can accomplish later on. Because obviously they're a house in the second, third, and fourth quarter anyway.
We're talking to Jeffrey Chadiha, who likes the Eagles, by the way, in his column for NFL.com. To get to the Super Bowl, has them ranked as the second highest ranked team going into this playoffs. A lot of people look at Barkley. Obviously, he's had an all-world season. But the biggest improvement they've made from where their numbers were last year defensively to where they are this year with the number one numbers under one defensive coordinator who apparently made that much of a difference. What do you make of this incredible defensive improvement that they've had this year?
Well, I'm a big Fangio fan, and I live in Kansas City, and so I've seen how he's defended Patrick Mahomes over the years when he was the Broncos head coach, and I know that he's big on building through the secondary and having, really creative blitz packages and simulated pressure. So I like that approach. I like playing through your secondary, and once they, I think, rebuilt that, which was, a big part of their issues last year. Bradbury and Slater getting older, bringing in Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean and getting C.J. Gardner-Johnson back. I think that's a huge plus for what Vic Fangio wants to do. And then you're just seeing younger guys grow up. I wasn't around that team a lot last year, and so I don't know everything that went into their meltdown and all the behind-the-scenes stuff, but I do know they had a lot of young guys who weren't playing at a high level. And now you're seeing the Jalen Carters, Jordan Davises, the Zach Bonds, the guys like that really starting to, the Kobe Dean starting to elevate their game. I think that's a big part of it as well. Fangio and those young kids growing up.
All right, so Jeff, let me look at it. Like, a lot of people think they'll crush the Packers. I think maybe it'll be close, but we had John Kuhn on, former Packer. He says this is a 2-score game, and he's the Packers sideline guy. If they bet, could they then possibly they're going to face the Rams or Tampa Bay in the second round at home here in Philly? Could either of those teams upset the Eagles here?
I don't see it happening again for the same reason. I think the Rams, I saw them against Buffalo earlier this year where they scored 44 points, and I thought, okay, offense is healthy. They're about to take off. This team is going to be tough to deal with, and they've been kicking field goals ever since. And so I don't think they've got the offensive firepower to really keep up with what the Eagles can do. And the Bucks, I just don't know who's going to show up. And when they're on, look, they're the fourth highest scoring offense in the league. Baker Mayfield's thrown 40 touchdown passes. They got a good offensive line. Defensively, they got a lot of holes. And so, again, I think I don't see where they're going to keep up with what the Eagles can do. The Lions are a different story in Detroit, and that's down the road, but I think neither one of those teams are going to be able to beat Philadelphia at home.
Wow. Okay, so if you go to the Lions, which they will have to go, you see the Eagles winning that game in Detroit, even though they're pretty good at home, and they have a comfort zone on what the Goff does with them on that turf. So you like the Eagles to win that game and get to the Super Bowl?
I like how they match up. Yeah, I think that, you saw the way Detroit played Minnesota, and they're going to fight you. Look, no matter how tough things are over there, they're going to be out to try to win and not going to feel sorry for themselves. I just don't know if you can play the way they played against Minnesota for 3 straight games and win. I mean, I think they're going to have to win a shootout, and I like the way, again, on defense, the way the Eagles match up with them offensively. I think Quinyon Mitchell can match up with Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think, their defensive line can match up with their offensive line. I think Jared Goff, as good as he's been, I think he can have days where he's not that good. See the Houston Texans 5-interception game. I think the Eagles are more, and they've been there. Again, they've been in these games too. This isn't their first go-around. And so I think that I like their chances in Detroit, even though I'm a Michigan guy.
All right, yeah. All right, so give me your prediction of this game, the score. What do you got?
I'll take Eagles. I wouldn't say 2 scores. I'll take Eagles 31-23.
31-23. That's pretty healthy. All right, then my last question is a trap for you. With Jalen Hurts' condition, you never know how it's going to react. Suppose he gets rocked early, he gets a little dazed, he has to come off, he has to go into the blue 10. Can the Eagles then win the rest of that game with a backup, whether it's Kenny Pickett or whether it's Tanner McKee?
Oh, that I'm not so sure of because I like the Packers' defense, and they're really good at turning you over, and Xavier McKinney is really good. It all depends on Saquon Barkley and how well they run the football. If they're able to get him going, and even when Hurts was hurt, you saw he got like 60 carries the last 2 games he played. I think that they can win it, but I don't think it's going to. I think it'll be a nail biter.
Okay, yeah, that's realistic because the people in Philadelphia, they saw Tanner McKee play against the third team against the Giants, and all of a sudden he's Joe Montana.
Yeah, I'm not going that far with that one. Yeah.
All right, Jeffrey Chadiha, thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, there he is, Jeffrey Chadiha, columnist, longtime NFL writer with NFL.com now. So there you go. He's got the Eagles as the second-ranked team in stature in the playoffs, Ray.
That was the politest no he could have given you on them beating the Packers with a backup. Well,
yeah, no.
I wouldn't feel so good about
if
it.
Saquon Barkley's got 200 yards, maybe.
All right, yeah. If Saquon runs for 70 yards the way he did that first Commanders run with Kenny Pickett.
All right, 610-632-0975. Get the news at noon coming up. We're still in general knowledge where you can win 5 sets. We're giving 5 people get something correct today. A pair of tickets to the Philly Auto Show, which is a very desirable prize today. And all you got to do is beat Ray. Very easy. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Andrew Salciunas.
I wake up this morning feeling very
It's the Mike Missanelli Show. It's a General Knowledge Thursday. Yesterday, we were a little disjointed. We had Amy filling in, and so we thought we had to have Ray back for when we did general knowledge because you're the whole concept of general knowledge.
Yeah, the idea of beating me.
The idea of beating you.
Audience loves it.
Which the audience does most of the time. He can't even give that up.
No.
He's a prideful man.
One outright win over the last, 8 general knowledges.
Yeah, by the way, I was just reading a story on you. Was it an Awful Announcing?
It was.
Awful Announcing did like a novel on Ray Dunn. I mean, it went on and on and on. I look up. I'm half hour. I'm still reading the story.
Very nice of them. I also appreciate the people that didn't know what Awful Announcing was, seeing that I was in Awful Announcing. They're like, oh, my God, what'd you do?
That's a great website, Awful Announcing.
It is.
But it is misnamed a lot.
Well, they're like, you're an Awful Announcing?
Yeah.
What'd you do? What happened to you? It's like, no, they cover media.
That's what I thought it was. I thought it was Awful Announcing, like making fun of bad people.
Well, it is. It actually started that way.
Right.
It was with panned announcing a lot, but now it's just an informational site on the media.
Right. They got the story about the old ESPN exec.
Yeah, I thought you got caught on a hot mic or something. I was like, oh no.
No, it was about Ray and his historic broadcast of Temple's 2000 win.
It's very
and
nice.
It went on and on and on. Ray talked about his childhood and how he grew up and riding a red bike around town, and really you learn a lot about Ray's
your
life.
St. Joe's days?
How I grew up a St. Joe's fan and went to Temple, so I'm a Temple fan now.
It was an autobiography, basically, or a biography on Ray. So if you have an hour and a half to read a story, you check out the Ray Dunn story on Awful Announcing. All right, let's go to Ed in Greensburg. Ed, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Ed.
Hey, how you all doing?
What's up, Ed?
I'm calling from the other end of the state, and obviously I believe Midnight Green. That's why I'm listening to The Fanatic today. But this is interesting because I travel the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I'm a huge trout fisherman, so I've been all around. And the one thing I got to say, outside of the pit, in this side of the state, Temple, that side of the state, the people of Pennsylvania love Penn State. I mean, they love Penn State. And they don't sell out 115,000 or 120,000
Well, in the rural areas that surround Penn State, you're right. But in Pittsburgh, nah. And in Philadelphia, the people that are divided by the other schools here, nah. I can tell you flat out. In Pittsburgh, there are many. Listen, a lot of Pittsburgh kids go to Penn State. I get it, but that Pitt jealousy is similar to the Temple jealousy.
Oh no, it is. That's where I'm going. It is jealousy. How can you compare the programs? I mean, I've gone to a couple. They used to call it Hinesfield. Now it's Acrisure. I've been to a couple Pitt games, and there's 27,000 people down there. You know what I mean? I mean, a bad game at Penn State is 100,000.
Yeah.
In the crowd, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's nothing but jealousy. And and the Notre Dame thing, and I can just tell you from growing up in Western Pennsylvania, a lot of Catholics, and whether you're Italian Catholic or Irish Catholic, it's just the fact that the priest is, I'm not Catholic, but all my friends that were the priests, hey, let's go Irish, let's go Notre Dame, and that boils down on you. You know what I mean? Whether you're Italian or Irish Catholic, that's my take.
Never blew down on me.
Right. With that being said,
go ahead.
My 3 favorite teams are Penn State, who's ever playing Pitt, and who's ever playing Notre Dame. That's the way it's always been in college football.
All right, so you're a big Penn State and Nittany Lion fan tonight,
like yourself. And I see them winning tonight by. As a matter of fact, I'm heading up to Live Casino right now. I'm going to put a little. We have one here, about 20. Quit drinking and smoking and everything. My one big thing left is gambling. They built a live casino 5 minutes from my house.
Oh, there you go, buddy. All right,
I'm taking the line.
Greensburg is hardcore Western Pennsylvania, as you can tell by his accent.
Yeah, the accent was strong with him.
Ron Bon Thousand. Yeah.
Penn State first on tonight for him.
Yeah, so Greensburg is like deep in the Western Pennsylvania.
I've heard that live casino is wonderful. I had a bunch of people. I was
out
at Pittsburgh over the summer.
Really?
Oh, you got to go. You got to go. I was like,
I just don't want him to waste his money on betting on the Nittany Lions. I mean, it's just giving money away.
See, I don't really have a dog in the fight. However, You saying something like that makes me want to root for Penn State.
I'm not going to get to the bottom of it. Listen, I'm not accepting just because you're Catholic, you root for Notre Dame. I'm not accepting it. It's got to be deeper than that for me.
Why?
Right? Because it's fraudulent. It's like I say, like if there was an Italian university, I would root for Italian university because they have
not if it started today, but if you were born that way.
Here's one, Cabrini University, because it has that vowel at the end. I could be a Cabrini fan.
You'd be a Nova fan now. I'm just saying they bought the campus. They bought the school.
See?
A Frenchman bought the school.
Listen.
Okay, I'm not listening to you anymore.
I don't want any more.
Let's go to Greg in Bethlehem. Greg, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Greg.
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Good morning, Greg.
Do you think the critical thing tonight is the Penn State offensive line and whether they can give Allard a chance to get the throws off, or is he going to be under pressure?
No, their offensive line is solid. So, I wouldn't worry. They should be able to get good protection. Whether they get separation is my problem. The kid's a really good quarterback. I wish he had some more reliable weapons.
Yeah.
That's all. I'm going to tell you, if they don't get the ball to Tyler Warren, they struggle to get the ball down the field unless it's a bomb, and Notre Dame prevents that kind of a play.
Yeah, they have a pretty quick backfield defensively. I think you give Allard a chance to throw, and he's usually successful. It's just under pressure he has a problem.
Well, I don't know. I've also seen him. He's got pretty good mobility, so he can turn that into a big play. He's a good player. The only thing I worry about with Penn State losing tonight is they're not going to have enough difference-making wide receivers.
Correct. Yeah, that's probably true. They'll have difficulties spreading the field.
Yeah.
Want to get him general knowledge here?
It's great. Greg, sometimes your calls drag on. I don't know what's up. Would you like a little general knowledge question?
No, I'm good.
All right. I can't figure out Greg from day to day.
Yeah, I'm grateful he introduced the Matt Elf to me. I mean, that was a good thing for me to find.
Yeah.
I enjoy him.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Right.
Does sound, though, almost every time he comes on as if he's had a Matt Elf.
This guy who does this podcast at Penn State he was a former offensive lineman recruit who was like a big time recruit, and he got hurt, but he's like now does Penn State media.
Was this the one that wanted them to contribute for the kicker?
Yes, that's the same guy who wanted them to. He tried to get a GoFundMe for the kicker.
I sit in this chair and I listen.
Yeah, as opposed to the other guy. But his name's Langdon Tenhall or something, and he has a tremendous scouting report on this game. So I'll give the kid credit. And we'll put forth some of that in the 12 o'clock hour. 610-632-0975. The news at noon coming up at noon. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Will Hurts clear protocol. I'm Brendan Gunnan. This update is brought to you by Corona. Join Ricky Bowe and Tyrone at 97.5 The Fanatic's official Birds playoff watch party at Ladder 15 on Sansom Street in Center City this Sunday at 4 p.m. Presented by Corona, and enter for a chance to win exclusive football prizes. We're another day closer to kickoff as the Eagles are set to host the Green Bay Packers in the wild card round on Sunday at 4:30. The main story all week has been Jalen Hurts' health. Well, yesterday he practiced for the first time in 17 days. And now that's all that's left to do to clear concussion protocols. Report back today with no lingering symptoms. We'll keep you updated all day long on QB1 status as long as the day goes on. As soon as we hear something, we'll let you guys know. The Sixers last night, they won last night 109-103 with a win over the Wizards. Narrowly escaped a win over the NBA's worst team. Tyrese Tyrese Maxey led the team in scoring with 29 points. The Flyers, they host the Dallas Stars tonight at 7 p.m. You can listen to that game live right here on The Fanatic. And Penn State takes on Notre Dame in the Orange Bowl tonight, the college football semifinal. That takes place at 7:30, first kick. This update was also brought to you by Cordell and Cordell. Cordell, a domestic litigation firm, is a partner you can count on. Call 866-323-7529 or visit cordell.com. I'm Brendan Gunn on the home of the 76ers and the Flyers, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
It's the Mike Missanelli Show, General Knowledge Wednesday. We'll kind of put the Eagles game on ice for a little bit, but we'll get into more analysis of what they're going to face. And we should have some news. Will they Ray announce that he's been cleared finally today? Will that happen
I would imagine
today?
we get that today.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. We'll have breaking news on them clearing Jalen Hurts. Not that it, listen, is he susceptible to getting rocked again? I guess he is. I guess you got to consider that. All right.
I feel like we consider that every time he takes off, right?
Yeah. All right, so this is a pretty good scouting report by this guy who now is, his name is Landon Tengwall. If you look him up, he was once a highly recruited offensive lineman who got hurt and then kind of just stayed up there, and now he's trying to do Penn State media. So here's what he says. Drew Aller is going to be facing a defense that runs cover one more than any defense in CFB. That means Notre Dame will run a lot of man-to-man coverage with one safety playing zone coverage over the deep middle of the field. That means things like the deep post pass to Amari Evans, who's Penn State's fastest receiver, aren't as likely this week, so expect a lot of passes to be thrown outside the numbers. This will come from fades and streaks. The idea is to keep the ball away from the high safety roaming the field. Watch out for Tyler Warren on a slot fade. Of course, he's the guy who's the tight end, and they put him in all kinds of positions. But I think Notre Dame knows that. So I don't know if that slot fade is going to be as open as this scouting report would indicate. However, wide receiver Trey Wallace for Penn State has had incredible success versus cover one. He's been targeted 21 times this year versus cover to one. He's caught 17 of them. That's an 80% catch rate. Look for that play to be hooked up tonight. Mindful of safety Xavier Watts. So that's Notre Dame's safety, who's a really good player. It's probably a pro player. Picking up the blitz was something that Penn State's offensive line struggled with versus Boise State. Here's Ray's hero, ND defensive coordinator Al Golden. Blitzes more than any defense Penn State will have faced. Expect a lot of exotic blitzes on third down. If Aller can get some time versus the blitz, he could get surgical. But Georgia had a really tough time versus Notre Dame. They got 4 sacks and 9 TFLs.
That's a tough defense. I'm a Temple tough guy right there.
Here's the other X factor. Abdul Carter, who's expected to play, but we don't know how long. To limit the amount of hits he's taking, Penn State might employ Abdul in a lot of stand-up linebacker sets on first and second downs. This will make it so he's not going up against a 300-pound offensive lineman all game long. We also need Carter to spy Notre Dame quarterback Riley Leonard. Leonard's first instinct is to take off running if his first read is not open, and he's a very fluid runner. All right. Well, there you
cool
go.
With the plan with Carter?
That's a little. Yeah, I don't know, man. He's not 100%. I could tell he's not 100%. They keep saying he's going to play. He's going to play. I think it's a shoulder problem. I don't know if you're going to get the full Abdul Carter. Now, they filled in very nicely for him against Boise State. This is a different animal. This is why I'm skeptical in a lot of different ways here.
Listen, I understand your skepticism. I understand. Notre Dame's a good team.
I'm not a Yahoo. Penn State's going to win. I try to analyze the game, and I'm a little nervous about this game. But, when I think about it, well, this will prevent what? Penn State getting crushed by Ohio State in the national championship game? I don't know what would be harder on me. Them losing this game or getting crushed by Ohio State?
I think losing this game. I don't. Yeah? This is going to come off as cruel, and I don't want it to come off as cruel, and you're going to end up saying it's cruel anyways. But you've grown accustomed to the result against Ohio State. You haven't grown accustomed to having to deal with the Notre Dame trolls coming out for you after a loss to Notre Dame.
I guess. All right. By the way, it is 12 o'clock on the Mike Missanelli Show, and you're listening to WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. It is noontime, which means it is time for the news at noon.
There's a whole lot going on in this world. It's time to catch up. Here's the news at noon. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Yeah, Brandon Gunn. The news at noon.
It is me. It's all going to be Notre Dame
least
today.
excited I've ever been to hear the news at noon.
Luckily,
Wow,
Ray,
that's
Ray,
awesome.
how could you
appreciate that.
how could you abandon me, Ray?
I'm right here.
listen.
Are you doing the news at noon? No, you're not doing the news at noon.
Not really.
This worm is.
Wow.
All right, go ahead,
Well,
worm.
I spared you all the Notre Dame stuff for today. I was going to give you all the stats and breakdown as to why you're going to lose, but you've already accepted that outcome. So we'll go with Jimmy Butler and Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas finally gave his take on the Jimmy Butler fiasco. Take a listen to what he had to say.
Butler being fined over $330,000 for each of the 7 games he'll miss for a total of $2.4 million. The NBA Players Association already called it excessive and inappropriate. Do you feel like he's going to win his appeal and get
Yes,
the bread?
absolutely. You can't suspend the guy for saying that we're not going to get along. It's just some bullshit. But I'm going to just say it like this. For Heat, you already have a reputation of the type of practices you guys do, how you guys overwork the players. So the only time players come there is when you in championship mode and they feel they can win a championship. Like, I'm willing to deal with this bullshit for 6 months. But Jimmy Lee, you think big free agents going to come there knowing what they're going to be put through? Nah, they're going to wait till it's almost a championship team ready, and then they'll come. So you're going to be losing for a couple years.
So what is he actually saying, Gilbert? He confuses me every time he talks. What can you interpret that?
I'll speak Gilbert Arenas for you on this one.
Go ahead.
Miami's going to lose out on free agents for the way they've handled this Jimmy Butler situation.
I'll say that's bullish.
Yeah.
As he said, that's bullish.
So they're not going to go to play Miami anymore?
Yeah, it's still Miami.
Yeah.
Now, this is a test of wills between old school and new school, where Pat Riley thinks that he can still have that heavy hand with players that make that kind of money, and he doesn't. And so, suspended him for 7 games does what? Does it make him conform? No, of course not. It makes him go the other way. So Pat's misguided in a lot of ways dealing with this thing.
Disgruntled player ranking. Jimmy Butler or James Harden? Which one's better at being disgruntled and getting their way out of something?
Harden's much better. Harden did it everywhere. Jimmy Butler didn't do that here.
No.
He didn't talk his way out, although he used a common excuse to get him out of here.
I think
I can't play Ben Simmons and I don't like the coach.
I don't think it's that he's better than Harden, but I do think we underrate the way he got himself out of Minnesota and now what he's doing here. He's a top 5 disgruntled player.
It is amazing to me how these older players still feel that they got jump. And as long as they're general managers like Daryl Morey around, I guess they do have jump. I would go, all due respect to Daryl Morey, if you're 35, I got no use for you. I don't care. I'm not giving you that kind of money at age 35. Why would I do that? It's stupid. You're conning your fan base into thinking that these older players are still the same player that they were 5-10 years ago.
You don't like what you saw out of Paul George so far this year?
I told you before when they brought him here, I was worried. You don't get better or healthier at that age.
All right, well, while we're talking about Miami, a friend of the program, Charles Barkley, got himself in a little bit of trouble talking about the Jimmy Butler situation the other night on Inside the NBA. Take a listen to that.
Oh, no, first of all, that's total bullshit. But joy makes you play hard. Stop it, man. This is not the podcast. I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't want to hear all that stuff. This is all about money.
Of course it is.
So don't tell me he's not no joy, all this. He wants a long-term contract.
And the guy said
don't
no,
give
so
me
the
that. He can
joy
say
is
that.
gone. Yeah, he can
He's
say
good
that.
enough to say, I deserve a long-term
Pat Riley
contract.
said no. Okay,
but listen,
so
Pat Riley said no.
His joy is gone. You're right. So you're right.
He's going to make $55 million next year.
So what? Listen, there's a lot of bums making similar.
It's not the point. You have a contract, Shaq. You don't get to say, unless you extend me, I'm just going to quit playing.
He never said he's going to quit playing. Don't do it.
Well, he say he ain't got joy anymore.
Yeah, but
I bet he'd get joy if he gave him 3 more years.
Well, he's right. He's right. Joy. Come on, Jimmy. Joy, they didn't give you an extension last year. We're an extension. Just like everybody else, you want to get that 3-year tack on at the end of your career where you could just goof off and earn free money. But, and he'll do it arrogantly. Paul George at least does it timidly. He doesn't make a fuss about it, but I watch him, I go, come on, man.
Ernie Johnson, the look he gave Charles Barkley, looks could kill when he cursed. I was like, what do you expect? How many years have you worked with Charles Barkley?
It's not the podcast.
This is not the podcast. Come on.
But we are talking about a podcast with the final bit of the news at noon. Micah Parsons. NFL playoffs still going on, but he says next year is the Cowboys' year already.
For the people that kept believing, because we're not done yet. We are not done yet, and I hope that y'all don't think we're done yet. It's going to be an amazing, amazing, amazing thing to see next year when we're holding the trophy. Yes, it's big goals, but I'm telling y'all right now, it's holding the trophy. I'm saying my prayers out loud. I'm saying my goals out loud, so y'all can hear them. You know, we're going to be holding a trophy up next year. Point blank, period.
Yeah.
For
A rare misguided Penn Stater. Michael Parsons talks too damn much.
Well, that happens when you have a podcast.
He talks a lot of junk.
That's now the second time in a matter of 6 months that they have done the whole manifestation. Because remember Dak Prescott with Aaron Andrews.
Yeah. These podcasts make people tigers, man, don't they?
Yeah. Well, you can say a lot of things sitting alone in a room with a microphone.
It really is. All righty. What's that say? Ray, ESPN.
I got a live read coming up here.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to ESPN.
That's it. Thanks, guys.
New announcement here.
That's been fun.
You can do ACC basketball games.
I got to do an hour and a half of the show. I'm going to go now.
All right, 610-632-0975. We're going to continue general knowledge after this. We're going to go hardcore at it. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Kincade and Salciunas.
We're on a roll here. A lot of calls on hold, a lot of texts. Let's get to the text board. Penn State, Notre Dame. A lot of people invested in this game tonight, more than I even thought. This is going to be a good sit-down night to watch football. Put a little fire on. I may make myself a little macaroni and cheese.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
Just chill out. I don't get excited when I watch a game.
You don't?
No.
Not at all?
Nah. I'm pretty calm when I watch a game. I'm a matter of fact, I'm not jumping off a chair or anything. I'm just kind of like, my eyes just analyze.
Have you always been like that, or did that come with age? Because I'm still screaming.
I think I've always been like that because I started out as a newspaper journalist, and you don't do the fandom thing when you're a newspaper journalist, and that's the way I was kind of brought up. I guess the last time I was like really crazy Penn State fan rooter was, 2 times. One was the 86 national championship game when they played Miami. I was there at the Fiesta Bowl, and that's why I was so captivated by that experience. I decided to write a book on it because they had no chance to win that game, and they won the game. So, like, you're in the stadium, you're invested, like, wow, could this possibly happen, like, out of the blue? And then in 1994, when they actually should have been national champion, they got hosed because it was a vote. They beat Michigan in Michigan, and I was at that game in Michigan. That they were that was a really good Penn State offensive team with Kerry Collins, Bobby Ingram, and Kajana Carter, and they had a good tight end. Was Kyle Brady was the tight end who was an NFL player. So they were and they went up beat Michigan. So there are 2 times I was really invested, but I'm rarely invested in a TV game because I got no control over the atmosphere. You know,
that makes sense.
I can yell and scream when I'm at a game, but a TV,
I don't know.
Who am I yelling and screaming?
I'm still yelling and screaming at the TV.
All right.
I can assure you I'll be nice and calm tonight. I'll be even keel.
You coward.
Relaxed.
Yeah, won't take a
Feeling
side
good.
because you can't. You want Penn State to beat Notre Dame, but you can't admit it because of your Temple bias.
I love chaos, Mike.
12 o'clock hour is brought to us by Service First Heating and Air Conditioning. 0% financing for 72 months. $500 rebate when you purchase a complete heating and cooling system from Service First. Learn more at ServiceFirstHVAC.com. I will tweet tonight when I see something that I don't like or something that I do like. I'll live tweet it. That's about it. Let's go to the text board. What we got?
Yeah, we got somebody checking in from Florida. Says, I'm born and raised in Monco, all Irish, all Catholic. My hatred sprung early, though, for the Notre Dame team as I saw all their fans were frauds. Today's attire, he sent a picture as a Notre Who sweatshirt.
All the fans are frauds. Interesting. Now, I don't go that far. I just wonder about this incredible connection they have to a football program where they have no association with the school whatsoever. Because you occasionally went to church on Lent.
That's my favorite day.
I got
church
ashes on my head. I'm a Notre Dame fan.
It's the best church day of the year. It's also the only day I go.
There you go. I wonder, is it for some people, maybe like for me, like the beard started to grow. I was like, oh, the beard's red. Maybe I should be a Notre Dame fan. I never had that thought, but maybe for someone, it's like, oh, yeah, it turns out I am.
Hey, should have. We also got...
And you're an Irish guy. Well, you got half Italian in you, right?
Me, yeah.
You got filtered out.
Yeah, me too. I had spaghetti last night for dinner.
No, forget you. I'm not even talking to you. Ray Dunn looks Irish. He's got an Irish last name.
I'm going to actually take over the text line for you for a second because I got I get random notifications from the text line. It's like every 25 texts they send to my phone here. And someone checked in with guaranteed guy on the phone's a no-show tomorrow if Penn State wins. You will be here tomorrow, B-Gun.
Oh, I'll be here all day because that's not happening. I exist in reality.
See? Now, you're making me do it, man. You're making me do it, and I think I'm going to have to.
Listen, Vegas knows what they're talking about. Penn State has the better quarterback. I'll give you that.
They're such an overwhelming favorite, too.
It's up to 2.5.
It's a point and a half, you punk.
It's up to 2.5 last I saw.
Oh, really? Is it 2.5?
Last I saw on FanDuel this morning, it was. It might have went back down.
I don't like that. All right, let's go to Blake in Miami. Blake, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Blake.
What's up, Mike? How you doing, man?
Good, Blake. How are you?
I'm good. I'm here in sunny Miami. I'm going to the game.
Beautiful. I love it. Penn State representing down there?
Dude, yeah, man. We got like 10 or so people. We came down last night, went to the pep rally. If it's any indication, 70-30 split Penn State fans in Hard Rock Stadium.
Really? I got to be honest with you. I'm kind of disappointed in my brethren no wealthy Penn State alum would, fly me down on a private plane and give me tickets and accommodations. Come on, man. If they're all I represent, I got none of that from my precious alums.
I know. I'm pissed you're not down here, man.
Well, how come your posse didn't invite me? I would have taken. I would have gone. I would have gone with the 10 guys who would, that were Bigfoot if they invited me down there.
Couldn't miss this, man. This is the start of something. I mean, it's the first college football playoff.
Yeah, I got you. I should be down there. I could, but see, then I would have to miss work, and then I would hamper everybody. We got a lack of people right now. They're sick.
Yeah. No, but listen, I hear your concerns. I know you're a big odds guy, and you guys were just talking about the odds. It did open 1.5, bounced up to 2.5. Now it's back down to 1.5. And it's these two teams are perfect parallels of each other.
They are two really good defenses that fly around. It's going to be interesting to watch. I love watching defenses, by the way.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not expecting many points in this game. There might be like 2 to 3 touchdowns.
I kind of agree with you.
Yeah.
All right, man. Where are you staying down there? Where are you staying?
I'm staying at my buddies.
You're staying at your buddies.
Yep.
I thought you were going to roll at a high end like the Fontainebleau or the.
We're going to 11 after we win, Mike. We're going to 11.
Okay, I got you. Hey, listen, do you want to play General Knowledge against Ray?
Yes, sir.
Tom Hanks movies.
Oh, God.
Okay. All right. Is this a Tom Hanks movie? Internal Affairs.
Internal Affairs. I'll go with yes.
Incorrect.
Damn.
Sorry. Internal Affairs was Richard Gere and Andy Garcia. No, you don't know.
Yeah, I saw that one. That was great. I did
Paul Blake. You know what the Internal Affairs was, the movie? Yeah, you saw it, right? Yeah, Jim Antez, another 2 Penn Staters in there that happen to run this company.
They're coming to beat me up.
Let me just tell these guys one thing. Fire his ass. Right now. I want to both you executives fire Brandon Gunn.
Listen, I'm not going out without a fight because it is the Fighting Irish.
God, please stop. This is. Oh no! Now Mike Vito's going to get him. They're taking him out.
Yeah. Is Vito a Penn Stater? Vito, you're not Penn
Vito
Stater.
is not a Penn Stater.
He's not a Penn Stater.
Oh, I'm a Penn Stater. I hate Notre Dame.
He hates Notre Dame because so I guess he's a Penn Stater tonight.
That's fraud.
Always a Penn Stater, he says.
All right. We'll take a break. We'll come back and continue general knowledge. Go back to the text board. A lot of people sounding off the text board. And I heard Penn State people were representing down there in Florida.
There was a lot in the airport the other day when I was there on the flight to Miami. There was a lot of Penn State sweatshirts.
Apparently, the Parrot Bar in Fort Lauderdale is overflowing with Penn State people. I've been there. That's usually an Eagle spot. Mike Missanelli Show continues. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Another day closer to kickoff. I'm Brendan Gunn, and this update is brought to you by Corona. Join Ricky Bowe and Tyrone at 97.5 The Fanatic's official Birds playoff watch party at Ladder 15 on Sansom Street in Center City this Sunday at 4 p.m. Presented by Corona. Enter for a chance to win exclusive football prizes. Yes, we're inching another day closer to kickoff as the Eagles are set to host the Green Bay Packers this coming Sunday at 4:30 in the wild card round. The main story surrounding the Birds all week has been the health of Jalen Hurts. Well, yesterday, he returned to practice for the first time in 17 days. All that's left for him to do to clear concussion protocol is report back today with no lingering symptoms. We'll keep you updated all day long on QB1 status. As soon as we hear something, you'll know it. The Sixers last night, they won 109-103 with a narrow win over the NBA worst team, Washington Wizards. Tyrese Maxey led the team in scoring with 29. The Flyers, they host the Dallas Stars tonight. Puck drops at 7. You can catch that game live right here on The Fanatic. And the game we're talking about all day here on The Fanatic on the Mike Missanelli Show. Penn State takes on Notre Dame tonight in the college football semifinal down at the Orange Bowl. Kickoff for that game's at 7:30. This update was also brought to you by Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships coming January 25th, the biggest fighting event ever to hit Philadelphia. Knucklemania 5 from Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships Saturday, January 25th at the Wells Fargo Center. I'm Brendan Gunn on the home of the 76ers and the Flyers, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5, The Fanatic. All right, the ultimate insult today from this producer I have to put up with, who's a Notre Dame fan, Brendan Gunn. He actually had a replica sign in the Notre Dame locker room. All the football players, they have to touch this damn sign that says "Play like a champion today." You may have seen it in the lousy movie Rudy.
Classic film.
He put a sign on our broadcast door that says "Play like a champion today." However, by the next break, I'm changing it to "Produce like a douchebag today." And we're all gonna touch it. How
Listen,
about that?
You go in there, you pound the play like a champion sign. It's magic. Just like the magic Irishmen are taking the field tonight, taking down the Nittany Lions all game long. Riley Leonard going for 100 yards rushing, 3 passing touchdowns. Drew Allar, 3 interceptions.
Drew Allar?
Aller, how do you say his name?
What the hell? Drew Allar?
Aller?
I got to put up with more indignities from you? Drew Allar. Well, you're really a football fan.
Well, Drew Aller.
He's only been here for 3 freaking years.
I don't watch it.
It's Drew Aller.
I don't watch a minute of them.
Allar.
Aller, Allar, tomato.
Are we playing
This guy,
DB or not with him today?
He's got no chance to ever produce anything I'm involved with ever again.
Well, thanks for doing it today, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you stepping
All right,
in.
let's go to Ish in Levittown.
Oh, great.
Ish, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Great
What's
transition.
up, Ish?
Hey, Mike, how are you?
What's going on, Ish?
Hey, I want to talk about this Penn State game.
No, sure.
It's good and it's bad. Okay, now, I think that Penn State's going to win tonight. I don't see Notre Dame actually beating them, just based off the fact that Allard is playing good and the running back is playing great, and they got their defense is good. What I fear about this game is you know how me and James Franklin I really don't find them.
You don't roll with James Franklin.
Yeah, I just don't. But I fear that that if they go against Ohio State, I think Ohio State is going to crush them, and then James Franklin's going to get like a 30-year contract after this. So that's the only thing I fear. But I believe this is the year that they can actually win, and that Penn State could win it all. But I think they're going to beat Notre Dame tonight.
You just said you think Ohio State's going to crush them. Where are they going to win it all? Where? Next year they're going to win it all? Did you just say Ohio State's going to crush them?
Well, no, that's only who do Ohio State play?
Texas.
Ohio State plays Texas.
I think if Penn State wins tonight and Texas wins, I believe Penn State can win the championship.
Okay,
But
so you think they could beat Texas, but not Ohio State?
Yeah, I think they can
All
beat
right.
Texas. Yeah,
That's fair. All right, I got it. I'm going to go over James Franklin's record, which is really important to a lot of people, and especially to him, that how he has to kind of like break through this problem of not being able to beat good teams. But let's give you a general knowledge question here. This is actually a football NFL playoff history question.
Oh, before you get started, I wish Bill the best of luck, and hopefully he gets better from his.
Yes, thank you, Ray. I owe you a question on the last Tom Cruise thing, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, we'll give you 2. Ish, which team won the first Super Bowl?
Which team won the first Super Bowl?
Yes.
And are you talking about the Super Bowl era, or are you talking about the first
Which team won the first Super Bowl is the question.
Super Bowl? That's Kansas City.
That would be incorrect.
Oh, the Packers. Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, all right. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it was good talking to you.
Yeah, it was good talking to you.
Always good catching up.
Yeah.
With them.
Okay. So, Ray, I owe you 2. Tom Cruise.
All right. Get the buzzer ready.
Is this a Tom Cruise movie or not? Let's go with The Firm.
I would say, yes, it is.
It is a Tom Cruise movie.
That's right.
Was that total guess?
One of my favorites.
Have you seen The Firm?
Never seen The Firm. Not once.
Never seen The Firm.
Nope.
Oh my God.
Not at all.
And a guess, so you get a point.
That's right.
All right.
Take that, audience.
Congratulations.
Thank
All right,
you.
now let me move on to the NFL playoff trivia. All right, let's go with which team won the most Super Bowls in the 2000s?
In the 2000s. Patriots.
You're saying the Patriots. That is correct. Nice job. You got a quick 2 points.
Yeah, 2-0
on the audience. That's not good.
Yeah, we could give out 5 4-packs.
Yeah, we can.
I would hate to bring my 19 favorite people with me to the auto show.
We may only have to give up one today if the audience doesn't come rallying here. Tom in South Philly, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Tom.
What's up, Mike?
How you doing, Tommy?
Good. Just want to talk about the Penn State game.
Yes, sir.
I'm born and raised in Philadelphia, and I despise Notre Dame and their fans. I mean, they're front-running fans. Where are they at when they're losing 4 or 5 games? They're like Cowboy fans. You never hear from them. Most of them Notre Dame fans are Cowboy fans, Yankee fans, Celtics fans, and, it's just a fraudulent fan base.
Yeah, well, you talk about it. I have to laugh when people say, well, Penn State fans are entitled. What, are you kidding me? Wait, compared to Notre Dame fans? Entitlement, royalty? Come on.
Right. I'm a fan because it's a state school. It's Penn State University. You know what I mean? It's what I always liked as a kid. And I remember the 82 championship game and everything like that. I watched that. And just about the game tonight also, let me get into that real quick. A lot of teams went into the mindset of stopping Tyler Warren and couldn't. The only team that did was Ohio State because they put Caleb Downs on him the whole game, shadowed him. And Caleb Downs is the best defensive player in the country, some people say. So I don't see that happening.
Well, I think they'll bracket him, and I really think they're going to make it difficult for Tyler Warren.
But Penn State has to just pound the ball. They got to run with them 2 running backs. They got to run straight. Georgia did a lot of end arounds and pitches and sweeps, and Notre Dame is legit a fast defense. I'm not going to say they're not.
Yeah.
Give them a lot of credit. Their defense is very good.
Yeah.
That's probably the best thing about them is their defense, and their special team scares me. The turning point in that game was that kickoff return in the second half against Georgia.
Well, that kickoff return broke Georgia.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. This is the reason why I'm really nervous about the Penn State winning this game is because Notre Dame's defense really impressed me. It really did.
But Penn State's defense is also good too. I mean, nobody in the country was able to stop Gentry all year, and they did.
Yeah, I get it, but they also didn't stop Ohio State. So.
I know they didn't.
Yeah.
That they can't. For some reason, that's that's their only thing. They got to play. They got to play to win tonight, and play not to lose like they do against Ohio State every year. They go with that game plan, not to make mistakes. You got to attack them and just go at them. And I mean, listen. And like I said, I think Penn State wins 28-24.
All right, brother. Would you like a general knowledge question?
Sure.
All right. Let's start. See if you can get on the board for the audience. What unit of distance is approximately 6 trillion miles? That's not hard.
A light year.
It is a light year. Oh, man. Nicely done. Hold on a second. I wasn't expecting that correct answer. Light year.
That's impressive.
Wow.
Good job by Tom there.
Okay.
Let's get him his entry.
That is impressive. All right, Ray, you got to match it.
Oh, boy.
What is the name for a person who tried to turn base metals into gold?
Name of a person that tried to turn base metals into gold. Goldsmith.
No.
Bill would have said Rumpelstiltskin.
That is correct. These are hard questions. The Alchemist.
Oh.
The Alchemist. Of course,
that was the second guess I had.
Many people have read the book, The Alchemist. Have you read the book, The Alchemist? No. You haven't read that?
Nope.
No, I know the rap producer, Alchemist.
Yeah. Actually, that's a better shot with that one.
Why do I even ask the questions? The Alchemist. Have you ever heard of the book, The Alchemist?
Yeah, I've heard of it. Just haven't read it. No. I watched a movie last week, which was big for me. So that's at least counts for something.
What movie did you watch?
I watched Focus with Will Smith, Margot Robbie. They're thieves.
Yeah. We actually were invited to screen that movie.
Really?
And it's the first time I saw Margot Robbie. The movie sucked big toes.
Oh, come on.
It was horrendous.
It wasn't that bad.
The movie was horrible. Focus? With Will Smith and Margot Robbie.
It said it was leaving Netflix. I had to watch it.
I didn't even know what the plot. When I first saw Margot Robbie, I couldn't. The movie was so bad, I didn't remember what the plot was at the end.
Not that bad.
Good choice of movies, Ray. Way to keep up.
It said it was leaving Netflix. I had to watch it before it left.
610. It's horrible. 610-632-0975. Back after this.
It's time for Birds Playoff Conversation.
I feel better.
Mike Missanelli Show. My plan, Penn State wins this game. I decided I am going to get behind a movement to create my own university called Linguini U. And it'll be tortellini class and history of the mafia. That'll be like one of the courses.
Started on Sicily.
That's right. That's right. You learned that it started in Sicily from general knowledge.
That's right.
Yes.
One of our great moments in this show's history.
Yes. All right, yeah, so that's my goal. Since Notre Dame has the Irish thing, I figured, an Italian thing in this country, so we can root for the football team.
You guys going to need a broadcaster?
And, of course, the nickname will be the Paisans, and we'll have, like, a little Paisan mascot. We have the Paisan mascot, throwing a pizza in the air. How about we do that? That'll be our mascot.
Dominic the Donkey?
No, shut up over there. I don't want to hear from you. All right, let's go back to the phones. Let's get Richard in Marsville in here. Richard, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Richard.
Hey, good morning, Ray. Good morning, Mike.
What's up, Rich?
Yeah, Brandon, you can go scratch. Hey, listen, real quick, let's if you'll give me a moment. Mike, territorially, okay? So when it comes to football, there's never been Villanova or Temple, Big Ten, ever. When it comes to football and the territory, it's always been Penn State. We go back in time, we look at Joe Paterno, Joe Pa. That was it. It was Penn State, and it always has been for me. When it comes to football, we've never had in the area. So
I have rarely found that in this area unless you're somehow connected and you went to Penn State or you sent your kids there. Like I don't find the general Penn State fan.
Yeah, so again, I mean, we're talking about championship football. We're talking about Big Ten. It's not the everyday norm. But when it comes to conference or big football games, when you're rooting for a team, you're rooting for Penn State. Now, the other part of it is I'm Irish, but I've also other ethnicities in me too, Mike. And you know, there's that to me is it's a weird thing because the whole, you know, if you're saying any kind of race split down the middle. So what is he supposed to have affiliation with the Eagles because they Sirianni's got the flag, the Italy flag? I love it.
No, you have association with the Eagles because they represent Philadelphia.
But why do they have the logo on the hat?
Well, because that was the NFL. No. That's the NFL doing that. The NFL.
Yeah, but you say no, don't do that.
If you wanted to endorse your ethnicity, the NFL gave you the little flag on the hat.
It excludes others, Mike. I understand what you're saying, but it
excludes others. How's it exclude others?
You're Italian. What do you mean? I'm not. If I'm not Italian, and I don't see.
Wait. They had the Eagles logo on his. Like he's wearing the Eagles logo. He just happens to have a little Italian thing on the side of his hat. How's that exclusive?
Mike, let's not. Come on, man. It's not. Yeah, but if you're not Italian, you're looking at that and you're saying you're.
Well, you don't have to be Italian. He is. He's just saying I'm proud of my heritage.
I understand that, but there's other players, there's other heritages, and they're not being represented. I'm just saying it's in for a penny, in for a pound.
Yeah, I don't get your point. I don't think it resonates. To be honest with you.
But I do think Penn State's definitely going to win tonight. And again, I also just wanted to ask you, Mike, based on our offense, we had the number one offense the whole entire season. We're next to the Broncos. I don't see any defense getting through. That's what I'm looking at is O-line. I'm looking at Jalen having time in the pocket, not having to press, and that little bit of rust will get worked out because of our offensive line giving him time to assess.
Yeah.
And I also see Yak, man. I see AJ getting a ton of yards after the catch against the Packers. I'd like to know what your thoughts are on that.
I agree. I think that A.J. Brown needs to get the slant early in the game to get him established. I think it's always good to get your top guy engaged and into the game. And so I agree with you. All right, now, would you like a general knowledge question, Richard?
Would love one. Yes, please.
All right, Richard, this is your lucky topic here. This is, wait, hold a second. I lost it. Where is it? Oh, here we go. I lost it. I lost your question.
Sounds like you got it wrong.
Yeah, it was an NFL question, and I lost it. So I have to give you a general knowledge question.
Please.
All right, the general knowledge question is, in what city would you find Notting Hill?
Notting Hill. Oh,
they made a movie on it starring Hugh Grant.
I'm going to puke. So you're asking me where the state is for the, or what city?
It's a city. In what city would you find Notting Hill? It's a section of this particular city.
I'm going to say Soho. Oh, man.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Soho? Like
Soho. That's not a city. That's a section of a city. You want the same question?
No, not particularly.
You don't know this movie starred Hugh Grant? Now, all right, you know who Hugh Grant is, right?
Yeah.
What is his nationality? Hugh Grant. He speaks with an accent, right?
Yeah.
He speaks with a what accent? An English accent. Hugh Grant is an English actor. Right?
That's right.
He was in the movie Notting Hill. So by that logic, what would the city be?
London.
Where is Notting? Yes, it is London.
I'm not taking that.
No,
point.
you can't take it. Sorry.
No,
That's a hard question. Let me see if I can
Never been across the pond.
Get back this other part here. All right, let's go to text board. What we got on text board here?
Yeah, we got some Temple fans checking in. They're not too happy with the little brother conversation that was going on. Mo in Warrington says, us Temple fans hate Penn State fans. End of story. Plus, they'd like to talk about how it's the closest school. It's closer. University of Maryland is closer to Philadelphia, technically.
See, we got to stop with this. We can't. Don't get upset.
See, that makes my point. Total jealousy. Like, what reason would you have to hate Penn State? Well, you're jealous because Penn State has this aura that's different than Temple. People talk about the aura, and you didn't have that aura. With all due respect, you got a good education, but you didn't have the aura that Penn State has as a university. Am I wrong?
Well, I mean, sure.
Temple doesn't have an aura. Temple is a good school. It just doesn't have an aura.
No, they have an aura. It's a different aura than Penn State. I mean, listen, you guys have the 6, 7 Saturdays in the fall. That's very nice, and you guys should enjoy them. This year, you got an 8th, I think, with the college football playoff game. It's nice. That's your aura. You guys have an exciting thing. The game days up there are unmatched. They're fantastic. I enjoy the aura of getting to go to school in the city and getting to be around plenty of other things going on.
Yeah, after tonight, the aura is just going to be being freezing cold in Happy Valley until graduation.
See, I don't want your help. You've already annoyed me enough today that you being on my side is actually the level of Bill being on my side most days. You're bothering me over there. Don't help me in this.
Oh, it's going to be very warm in South Bend, by the way. Yeah. Winter season in South Bend, that's going to be really warm.
Yeah.
They're going to win. They're going to win, so you don't have to worry about that.
You don't even have 8 Saturdays because you couldn't even pick out South Bend on a map.
I got GPS. It's 2025.
Oh, see, if we gave him a map of America, you could not put your finger on where South Bend is.
It's like an hour south of Chicago.
God, this is honestly turning into chaos for me. Let
me ask you something, Mr. Notre Dame. I've always wanted to ask this question to a Notre Dame fan. Referring to Jesus as touchdown Jesus, is that not a little sacrilegious?
It is. For most people that go to church every Sunday. My church is Saturdays
Did you
in the
turn
fall.
Jesus into a football fan who raises his arms at a touchdown? Gee, we're talking Jesus
We're
here.
talking God Country and Notre Dame.
We're not talking some average fan of football. We're talking Jesus. Now he's touchdown Jesus?
I prefer touchdown Jesus.
Oh, jeez.
It's because you're...
Jeez.
You're a heathen.
Touchdown Jesus.
You're a heathen.
I don't like touchdown Jesus.
That's not go down that path anymore.
Yeah, Jesus is here to represent us when we score a touchdown. Touchdown. Come on now.
Save the world with that touchdown, Jesus.
610-632-0975. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Another day closer to kickoff. I'm Brendan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update. And another day closer to kickoff. The Eagles are set to host the Green Bay Packers on Wild Card Sunday, this coming Sunday at 4:30. The main story all week has been Jalen Hurts' health. While yesterday he practiced for the first time in 17 days. All that's left for him to do to clear concussion protocols report back today with no lingering symptoms. We'll keep you updated all day long on the Fanatic as far as QB1 status goes. The practice report, injury report should be out soon, so we'll keep you updated with that. The Sixers last night, they escaped with a 109-103 victory over the Washington Wizards. Tyrese Maxey led the way with 29 points, and the Flyers, they host the Dallas Stars tonight at 7. Puck drops right here on the Fanatic. You can listen to that whole game live. And then Penn State's taking on Notre Dame in the college football semifinal down at the Orange Bowl in Miami. Kickoff for that game's at 7:30. This update was brought to you by Penny.com. It's open enrollment, so get the lowest cost on high-quality coverage now through Penny, PA's health insurance marketplace. Deadline to enroll is January 15th at Penny.com. I'm Brendan Gunn on the home of the 76ers and the Flyers, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Show. So we're taking a little respite from the pressure of analyzing the Eagles-Packers, which is good because there's nothing but good vibes. One is Jalen Hurts. Looks like it's good, all good, although we haven't heard officially. Maybe that worries me a little bit. It's 12:55. We haven't heard officially.
Take a deep breath.
Is he supposed to speak today?
The media schedule for this week, which, of course, is eluding me right now.
Well, I don't know. It's all good. They're a 4.5-point favorite. Even the Green Bay people say, yeah, the Eagles win this game. Every expert predicts that the Eagles will not have a problem in this game. In fact, Jeffrey Chadiha, who we had on a little earlier on the show, says they don't have any problem getting to the Super Bowl, that they will beat the Detroit Lions. So that's really interesting.
I imagine, and sorry, I'm getting the schedule up here. I'm pulling a bill on you right here. Where
That's all right.
There would be.
I know you're buried in your computer there.
Yeah, well, I'm buried in getting the schedule to make sure. Practice starts today at 2:15.
Oh.
So open during warm-ups, individual drills. I imagine if they see him out there, we're going to start to get some information.
Okay.
The locker room's open later this afternoon. So they'll
All
get
right.
a chance
So
to
it'll be the official word will come down.
I imagine we'll get that
today. Meanwhile, people are really obsessed about this game tonight because it really features two teams that have these rabid fan bases, although I believe that the Notre Dame fan base is more rabid and hence more fraudulent because they really don't have a connection to the particular school. Penn State fans have a connection to the school or the geographical area that surrounds Penn State, where people live in rural areas and they what they have to hold on to is Penn State football in the bleary winters of Middle Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, there's a lot that you need out there in bleary winters.
There you go. And then I spin this off into the jealousy that a lot of other universities, like Temple University, and the fans that who are the attendees of Temple University, who for some reason decide to hate Penn State, and there can be only one reason for that: jelly.
See, what I would preach against jelly. Mo from Warrington had checked in, it was like, this is making me upset. Why do you get upset? That's my biggest thing for like the Temple fan base that hates. Why are you upset? It's a whole different entity. They're in a whole different conference.
I'm not upset. I'm just exposing.
No, not you. I'm saying to those Temple fans, don't get upset with it. There's nothing about that, like the Nittany Lion, that bothers me.
They're entitled. Penn State fans are entitled. Well, it's because you don't have any title.
It's not.
That's why everything else could be entitled. Where's your title?
I think the last time both teams won their conference title was the same year.
What? What are you talking about?
2016. This last time you won a Big Ten title? Like, come on.
What conference did you win a title in? What was that conference?
I got you. I understand the difference between the two. I'm just saying, you're sitting here talking to me like, where's your title? All right, you got a chance to step towards a national championship today. You're falling into kind of
the stretching dough here.
You're falling into kind of the fan that you don't
Speaking of my
like.
Linguini, you're really stretching dough.
Come on,
dough stretching major at Linguini U. That will be a major at Linguini U. When
got a Sopranos class.
How much money do you think I need to start a university called Linguini U? And have a football team with all paisans and have a little mascot throwing pizza dough in the air. How much would that cost me?
We go on Kickstarter, get started right now by the end of the show.
Listen, you just got to find some land, steal it away.
And we'll even have a Catholic church on campus so people can feel free to worship.
What kind of, are you going to have a touchdown, Jesus, or no?
No, we got a touchdown Luigi.
Mamma mia.
Yeah, Luigi. He's got a handlebar mustache, and he can only raise one arm because the other one has a
Mario wasn't available.
The other one has a pizza. He's going to serve to somebody.
The more you talk about it, the more I think we got to get this thing off the ground.
Yeah. So I need something to root for because listen, I feel left out. All the Irish Catholics have their own university. They can root for Notre Dame.
It's a good world we're living in.
It's 1 o'clock on the Mike Missanelli Show, and you're listening to WPEN and WPEN HD Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. We come down into the final hour of General Knowledge, where we are giving away 5 pair of tickets to the Philadelphia Auto Show, which is a spectacular place to be, man. People love to look at the cars, and we're going to be doing our show there. one of those days.
I think next week from today.
Is it a week from today? So tomorrow on the road at Rally House, and then next week on the road at the Philadelphia Auto Show. So if you want to see the show live in action, come out to Rally House in Willow Grove tomorrow and the Philly Auto Show next week. Let's go to Justin in New York to start the 1 o'clock hour. Justin, how you doing?
I'm good, Mike. Thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to weigh in on the Penn State game a little bit. I don't really have a dog in the fight. I'm not a huge fan really of either, but I've always been bothered by Notre Dame and their fans and this idea that if you're Irish, you're a Notre Dame fan. So I've always disliked Notre Dame, and I'm from Pennsylvania, so I'll be rooting for Penn State. But I really think I understand why you don't feel great about it, but I really think Penn State has a good chance to win this game tonight. I think. Would you admit? I think it's a Penn State line plus. I think they're plus 100. I just checked a minute ago.
No,
I think a lot of people
Notre Dame 2.5. That's a Notre Dame line.
I just checked. It was 1.5. 10 minutes.
Was it 1.5? Let's check. Let's check and see if it went down to 1.5. You got that comforts me because then you get some Penn State money coming in from sharps.
Smart money, yeah, smart.
Back down to 1.5.
Back down to 1.5. Uh-oh. Brendan got it. All of a sudden, his sphincter tightened up.
And everyone's looking at Notre Dame last week. They beat Big Bag Georgia, but a lot of that game was fool's gold. They had a kickoff return, and they had a strip sack against a backup quarterback. Their offense didn't really move the ball too well, and Georgia has had trouble all year with mobile quarterbacks, which Penn State does not have that issue this year. And I like the idea of Abdul Carter as a spy, especially if he has like a shoulder AC joint sprain. I think my key to the game will be make Riley Leonard beat you with his arm, because I really don't think he can. And
I totally agree with that.
Yeah. And,
I know you're really starting to make me optimistic here. I like this analysis, Justin.
Yeah, the one pet peeve I have with Aller is I've watched he doesn't turn the ball over, which is great, but he doesn't know how to throw the ball away. He takes a lot of sacks. So
yeah, he does.
Say he's got to try to get the ball away because those sacks against this defense will kill drives. And,
no, you're right. You're right about that.
So, yeah, but I feel good about it. I'm betting it.
All right, man. Cool. I like it. Now, let me give you a general knowledge question because I found my NFL questions. So let's go with this one. Who is the all-time leader in receiving yards for a tight end in the NFL?
Oh, didn't it just get broken?
Did it get broken?
I think.
I think he's thinking of a different
I know Kelsey broke one of Gonzalez's record. I'm going to go Kelsey. It could be Tony. I'm going to go Kelsey.
Did Kelsey break that record?
No, he broke the Chiefs touchdown record.
Tony Gonzalez is the correct answer, man. Sorry about that.
I think it was the Chiefs touchdown record.
It was the Chiefs touchdown record.
The dunk on the attempted dunk.
Oh, yeah. Tony Gonzalez is the all-time tight end leader in career receiving yards. So right here's your question. Who is the all-time sack leader?
All-time sack leader. Mm-hmm. You might have me on this one.
How about this? This is an upset. We stumped Ray in a sports question. All-time sack leader.
Huh. I don't know, so I'm going to just throw Reggie White out there. But
Reggie White is incorrect. Sorry. He played for the Buffalo Bills.
I'm blanking out entirely on this.
Bruce Smith.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of Virginia Tech.
That's a big miss on my part.
That is a huge miss on your part. All right, let's go to Nick in Fairmount. Nick, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Nick.
Hey, Mike. How's it going?
What's up, Nick?
It's great to have you back. Love the team. Hope Bill's getting back on board.
Update on Bill. He had no voice today, so he's recovering, and tomorrow might be a possibility. Well, hopefully Bill's back for Football Friday when we really get into this Eagles-Packers game.
Got to get him back. So this story goes back about 20, 25 years. Like you, I'm full-blooded Italian. I went to grade school with all Irish kids. So my dad takes me to Modell's one day, and kind of like you said, I can get anything as long as it's below $5. So I pick up the Notre Dame T-shirt. I like the colors, blue and gold, okay. I wear it to confirmation practice. The Irish kids grouped together, and at the end of confirmation practice, they came up and said, I can't wear it because I'm not Irish. In this day and age, do you believe that?
Prejudice against Italians? in this day and age?
Italian.
Well, I would think that they would have embraced you. See, this is the thing. No, the warm-hearted Irishman would have embraced you as one of their own.
I hope they kill him. Penn State by a million.
That stayed with you all these years?
Unbelievable.
So how did confirmation go then? Did you square up with anybody?
I made the nice confirmation. My Uncle Pino was my sponsor. I still love him.
Uncle Pino! I love it.
Uncle Pino. But it's unbelievable.
Oh, that's cool. Now, where did you hear the name Pino in a movie?
I don't know.
Oh, it's a Spike Lee movie. Do the Right Thing. Pino was one of the sons of Danny Aiello, who owned the pizza shop. I don't know. That's the way my mind works. All right. You ready for your general knowledge question?
Yeah.
All right. What character in the Star Wars universe was criticized for having a Jamaican accent?
Jar Jar Binks.
Correct. Oh, all of a sudden we're getting some correct answers.
Pretty
Looky
good.
Here.
That's pretty good.
Ray looked at you in disgust when he gave someone else a Star Wars question. Ray loves Star Wars.
You had that?
There was a little bit of jealousy on that one, but it's okay.
Really? So was there a little controversy there with that? I'm not into the Star Wars thing. So there was controversy because he had a Jamaican accent?
This is the first of the controversy because those movies came out when I was like 5. So by the time I watched them, I was not aware of any controversy because I was not that active a participant in society at that point. But I guess there was.
All right, Ray.
Learn something new every day. General knowledge.
We're going to a break, but we're coming on the backside. You get a question to ask, and people, this is the last hour. We can talk about Penn State, Notre Dame. I still have not gotten a legitimate Notre Dame explanation on why your heart belongs to a school that you have no association with. The Mike Missanelli Show continues on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Tyrone Johnson.
11, Mike Missanelli Show. I was thinking about sports movies and thinking about Rudy, the biggest piece of trash that anybody could ever watch. Maudlin and over-dramatic about some walk-on who the story's not even accurate. And these Notre Dame people just suck it up. I hate Field of Dreams and League of Their Own. I would watch both of those movies for 8 hours straight with my eyeballs pried open with toothpicks rather than have to sit through Rudy.
I mean, I'd take those two movies over Rudy. I think you're coming down a little harsh on those two, but if we want to go after Rudy,
what other movies would I watch other than
Star
Rudy?
Wars?
Yeah. Any rotten movie I would rather watch. I'm watching Invictus over. No. What was the one that Sylvester Stallone was in? Was like a soccer movie. Sylvester Stallone. What was that movie? It was horrendous. I'd rather watch that. I'd watch Cool Runnings before I watch Rudy.
Yeah, we will never see eye to eye on movies.
The janitor talking to Rudy didn't get you inspired? Like you didn't want to run through a wall when you saw that?
I'd watch Mystery Alaska before I'd watch Rudy.
Were you talking Victory or Escape to Victory? Is that the movie you're talking about with Sylvester Stallone?
I don't know. He's in some kind of stupid movie, soccer-themed movie.
Yeah, I think that might be it.
All right.
Wow. Well, you can watch that one, too. I've never seen this. Believe it or not, I haven't seen that one either. So, not putting it on my list, though.
Poor Rock. They cast him as a janitor. Come on, man. You're Rock. Can't be playing a janitor.
I just received a text, and I warned you it was happening. It was in the YouTube chat.
Oh, no. Who is it?
It's Kevin Cooney.
Oh, Kevin Cooney, who works here at night occasionally. Oh, the movie was called Victory. That's what Sylvester Stallone was in. My buddy Mike just texted me. Play like a champion today.
I imagine this is posted in his classroom, or he's just sending me a random picture of some.
My sign is root like a douchebag today. All right, let's go. Vicente in Ecuador. Vicente, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Vicente.
Hola, amigo, Mike.
Oh, hola, Vicente.
I'm calling from Guayaquil, Ecuador.
Oh, you're in Ecuador? Oh, man. Hey, do they have the game on in Ecuador tonight, the Penn State game?
Yes. On Sunday, we came back from the beach, and we struggled because it wasn't broadcast in Paramount TV, Premium TV. So, but my smart nephew, Chemito, came up to the rescue, and he found in the deep web internet the last 6 minutes of the game. Very exciting.
Wait a minute. Are you able to watch the Penn State Notre Dame game from Ecuador or not?
We can, yes. If I look for it, yes.
Well, are you going to watch it then? Are you rooting for Estadio Penn?
No, I'm going to root for the Penn State.
That's what I said.
Even though I'm not Penn State.
I said Estadio. I didn't mean that. Yeah, all right.
But I wanted to mention that I told you, I promised I was going to call you. We are in the long week celebration of my mother's 90th birthday. So yesterday, it was a beautiful tribute. Everybody in the family, over 100 people showed up, nephews and grandnephews and their spouses and their children. Unbelievable. You know?
Oh, that's fantastic. I love the fact that you have a nephew named Chemito.
Chemito. This is my nephew, who's the father is here, Daniel. And Daniel and Chabela and Gabriel and Angie, they're going to sing with me the Fly, Eagles Fly. The count 1, 2, 3 right now.
Oh, let's hear it. Let's hear it from Ecuador.
Okay. From Ecuador.
Let's do it.
Fly, Eagles, fly on the road of victory. Fly, Eagles, fly. I call 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Hitting low, hitting high, and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory.
Oh, Guayaquil, I heard it in there.
Yes, Eagles.
That is awesome. Let me give you a parting shot. Vuelan las aquilas, vuelan.
Buenas las aquilas, vuelan.
There we go. All right, buddy.
give me my trivia question.
Would you like a serious question? All right, here we go. It's Tom Cruise movies. All right. Was Tom Cruise in the movie Valkyrie?
Was he in the Valkyrie movie?
Yes.
Valkyrie,
which was the assassination plot to kill Hitler.
Valkyrie. Yes, Nazi Colonel.
You're saying yes? Are you saying yes?
Yes.
Yes is correct. Vicente from Ecuador. Cash is in.
Oh, boy. This is bad. This is very, very bad.
All right. Was Tom Cruise in the movie Interview with the Vampire?
No.
Incorrect. He was in the movie Interview with the Vampire.
That's so beneath him as an actor.
That wasn't a movie, actually.
I never saw it.
Well, of course. You never saw it.
Interview with the... What was that? What could that possibly be about?
Vampire.
What could that possibly be about?
Well, let me give you the plot line on Interview with the Vampire. Hold on a second.
It's not like it's Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer. It sounds like a decent movie.
Stop it. When did your opinion become valid in this?
Interview with the Vampire is an American, let's see. Oh, it's an Anne Rice novel. It follows the Louis de Ponte epic story of love, blood, and money, and the perils of immortality. Now, that's deep.
Oh, give me a break. Wait. This guy went from doing Top Gun, and then got him doing an Interview with the Vampire.
He's got range.
Oh,
I think Tom Cruise is a very underrated actor.
He's a great actor. I don't need to do this.
Let's call him great. I think he's a little underrated for my money. What's the text board saying? Before we get to a break here, give me a little text board action.
All right, let me get one up for you real quick. Here we go. We got Ian and Philly checking in. Longtime fan. Appreciate you guys being the only person on The Fanatic to rip Notre Dame and their boneheaded fans. Ask Brennan why he doesn't quote Rudy's dad when he said the most beautiful thing the ND band ever did was Hail to the Lion in the movie. Lions by a billion tonight. Nittany Lions, I guess.
You know the line's coming down. I'm going to have to change my tune. The line is down to one measly point.
Another great text line here. Participation trophies exist because of the movie Rudy.
Yeah, like I'm going to believe the whole team revolted against the head coach and laid their jerseys in front of him. I'm not playing, coach, because this little rat who made the team as a walk-on isn't going to get to suit up for a play. Stop with your nonsense.
Offside.
610-632-0975. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Inching closer to game day. I'm Brennan Gunn, and this update is brought to you by Ace Hardware. Got a leaky pipe, having issues with your heat? Ace Hardware Home Services. They're around the block with everything you need to fix it. They've got all the pros to keep your home humming all year long. Ace Hardware Home Services. Yes, we're inching closer to game day. The Eagles are set to host the Green Bay Packers this coming Sunday in the wild card round of the NFL playoffs. And the story surrounding the Eagles this week, of course, is Jalen Hurts and concussion protocol. Well, yesterday he practiced for the first time in 17 days, and today the only thing left to do to get him cleared on the concussion protocol is report back with no symptoms. So we'll keep you updated all day long. We should get an injury report soon. As soon as we hear on the Fanatic, we will let you guys know as well. The Sixers last night won, barely, beat the NBA's worst team, the Washington Wizards, 109-103. Tyrese Maxey led the way with 29 points for the Sixers. And the Flyers tonight, they are hosting the Dallas Stars at 7. Puck drops at 7, of course, and we'll have that on the Fanatic live for you. And the big game tonight, Penn State's taking on Notre Dame in the Orange Bowl of the college football semifinal. Kickoff for that game's at 7:30, and we'll be discussing that the rest of the show as well. This update was also brought to you by Corona. Join Ricky Bowe and Tyrone at 97.5, the Fanatics official Birds playoff watch party at Ladder 15 on Sansom Street in Center City this Sunday at 4 p.m., presented by Corona, and enter for a chance to win exclusive football prizes. I'm Brendan Gunn on the home of the 76ers and the Flyers, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
27, Mike Missanelli Show. We didn't get around to talking much Eagles today. That's okay. Tomorrow will be Football Friday. We have Ray here, did yeoman's work to get off a plane and arrive here to do the show. We have some kid producing our show who's put up a sign that says play like a champion today, like all those Notre Dame geeks get off on. What's his name, a kid producing us?
I'm no longer referring to him.
Yeah,
He's been
I don't know. And you would think that
Who?
his sphincter is tightening every second since the line is going down in Penn State's favor. It's now a 1-point game. It tells you it's going to be a close game. Now, here's what's at stake for James Franklin. Because people are just waiting to pile on if he loses this game. James Franklin's record against top 10 teams in his career, 3-17.
Not great.
Against top 5 ranked teams, which Notre Dame is ranked in the top 5, 1-13.
I was supposed to be there for the one.
In those 14 games, Penn State's only averaged 18.1 points, and they have a -17 turnover differential. Now, those numbers are grim. Now, I'm going to go back to this guy, Landon Tangwall, who's done a pretty good job analyzing, and he's using film study to also fortify his points. The weak points on Notre Dame's offensive line, they have a freshman left tackle who was forced into a starting role because of an injury. He's undersized. Their right guard is a veteran, but he's playing with a bad ankle injury and got destroyed multiple times versus Georgia because he couldn't plant on his right leg. This gives an advantage to Penn State's defensive tackles, obviously. Now let's get to the quarterback. Riley Leonard, the plan against him has to be stop Notre Dame's run, sell out Notre Dame's run, dare the kid to pass. Maybe you make yourself susceptible to him getting out of the pocket and running, but he is not very comfortable in the passing game. They won that game with him passing for less than 100 yards. So, I don't know. I think that I'm flopping. I originally thought Penn State could be in trouble in this game. Now I'm gaining a little bit of confidence that they can pull this off.
Don't set yourself up for that. You were on the right pass.
Is it an outright?
Not ready to go out yet. Still a half hour left of the show.
I got to say, this show has done very little to move me in really fandom, but it's done a lot to move me in tonight. Because I'll be honest with you, I've only heard from Kevin Cooney like 4 times in the last half hour, and I've sat here and dealt with the guy in the studio over there for the last, I've been here now 3 hours, I think. And it's not even close who's more insufferable on this one. It's not even close. The insufferability rankings has Notre Dame far and away higher than Penn State. So,
listen, because when you're the underdog, you don't have to be insufferable. When you're supposed to win like they are, we're supposed to all week, it's getting closer.
See, I can't do it. I'm going to beg you here. Just stop.
It's not often us Notre Dame fans get to go into a game in the semifinal as a favorite.
Oh, cry me a freaking river. Oh, it's not like us. Shut it. Either you're a premier program and you're used to doing good stuff, or you're not. So tell me which one you think you are.
They're a premier program who chokes every year. And it's the battle of the choke artists.
So
it's the battle of the choke artists.
Oh, my. Yeah. Screw you.
Here,
I'll hit the outright drop for myself.
Listen, I am not a Franklin backer. And he's got to win this game or he's going to be forever saddled with he can't beat anybody. So what he says about it, this is what rankles me. See, this is where I'm different from normal Penn State fans who are pretty delighted with their status most of the time. James Franklin says, nobody is looking in the mirror harder than I am. What does that mean? You look in the mirror, well, that doesn't do anything for me. You look in the mirror, you're still like 1-13 against top 5 teams, right? So if you're looking in the mirror harder, I guess you would try to out-recruit Ohio State. But then he goes on to say, I've said this before, but 99% of the programs across college football would die to do what we've been able to do in our time here. That's where I go, sorry, stop the train. I'm getting off. I don't really care what 99% of the other people would want. And that's where he sells the administration into loving them.
Yeah, that's where he sells the Penn State fan base short.
And the fan base, because they're not as cynical as I am. Most of the Penn State fans are just happy to be there because, after all, it is Happy Valley. See, I don't buy into any of that Happy Valley stuff, Ray. as you know.
Yeah, I know you don't.
Win the freaking game and beat this insufferably obnoxious fan base of Notre Dame football frauds who have no connection to the school. That's what I need. Let's go to David in Collegeville. David, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. David.
Hey, Mike, first time, long time.
What's up, David?
So, I'm probably an anomaly to your PSU affinity theory. I grew up in Delco. I grew up in Ridley. I grew up in OLPH Parish, Irish Catholic. I hate Notre Dame, and I grew up a Penn State fan with no affiliation with the family.
How did you manage to do that? With all the peer pressure you had in Delco.
Well,
you know, when the baby comes out in Delco or Northeast Philly, the obstetrician actually has a tattoo stamp of a little leprechaun that they put on the little kid's calf.
Particularly in Ridley, but I'll tell you, I was 8 or 9 years old. I started, watching Penn State with Stan Savron and George Paterno. You were probably at the school at that time, at Penn State at that time, and I just started following them that year. And I think what happened was, at the end of the year, they had a bad Kentucky loss, and then they won the Fiesta Bowl that year. But I think Notre Dame won the Natty that year with Ken McAfee, that tight end. I hated that guy. And then
who was the quarterback? Who was the quarterback of that?
I think it was Montana, wasn't it?
When they won the national championship? Well, didn't they win one with Tony Rice as a quarterback?
They won in 86, and that was long after Joe Montana.
Yeah, 86.
88.
That was a Lou Holtz era. I hated Lou Holtz.
That was Tony Rice, I thought. Anyway.
Yeah, Tony Rice, but I think Joe won one in 77 with McAfee and Vegas Ferguson and those guys.
Okay.
But needless to say, I just became a Penn State fan through that year, and it has never left me. I've been a diehard ever since. My daughter goes there now, so I'm sure, she's not a Stefford. She's not like you. She's a fan. I'm sure I have.
I'm a Stefford. Am I a Stefford?
No, you're not.
Yeah, there are a lot. I would say there are a lot of Penn State fans in Delco too. I don't want to make that all Notre Dame country. I've run into a lot of Penn State fans down that way.
Well, I think a part of the other theory is, we didn't have any D1 teams locally, really. Who did we have? We had Temple, we had Rutgers. Eastern football was pretty bad at the time, so it was really pretty much Penn State or Notre Dame. And,
see, this is what I deal with here. I deal with a lot of Temple people and Rutgers people. Now, there's no reason, really, why Rutgers or Temple people would be anti-Penn State. But every one of yous are. Now, why would that be? I try to come up with reasons. I come up with one. Too small. Jealousy.
Yeah, and you do that in a way to try and rile us up.
I don't try to rile you up.
Yeah,
I try to. I really just. I go with the facts.
No, you're not.
Our pal Dylan comes in there. Rutgers. Are you rooting for Penn State tonight? No. Why wouldn't he root for Penn State? Why? Why would he not root for Penn State against Notre Dame? Because he goes to frickin' Rutgers, and this whole jealous cloud surrounds all these universities. And we can go as far south as West frickin' Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
And we go far west as Pitt. And we go north to Rutgers.
Trying to do this.
And we go southeast to Temple. 610-632-0975. We're back after this.
Andrew Salciunas.
I wake up this morning.
I hope we're able to hear his
Sirianni
voice
up.
at all.
Yeah, we're going to make him sing off a bad voice, which will make his voice a lot worse than it really is.
Can it? Maybe he has like the reverse effect.
Can it? Oh, Bill's listening. He's in the sick bag. Oh, Ray, eat two, Ray.
I've been texting him, check in on him. All right, I care about the guy.
How's he doing?
He's frustrated.
He's frustrated?
Yeah, voice is still not there right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I told him, keep going with the tea. Hopefully he's drinking.
Well, he could just be here without talking.
Yeah.
Here's what we'll do. If he wants to come in tomorrow and he can't speak, I'll answer for him.
Ooh, I like that.
Like, I'll go, well, Bill, and I'll give an answer in Bill voice.
I say
Bill, what Bill would say.
Tomorrow we question Sirianni's job security for 4 hours with him unable to talk. I say that's how we go. Or we talk about how great Dan Campbell is for 4 hours.
Oh, see, that'll do it. He'll go, You trying to say something, Bill?
Hope you're doing well, Bill.
Let's get back to the text board. What we got on the text board?
It's a very good question. What do we got on the text board?
Hey, unprepared. Notre Dame guy, unprepared.
I was doing the
play like a champion today. You're not playing like a champion.
I was doing the math. I was doing the math so we could get out of here. But, we got a Pitt guy checking in. Penn State hater. I went to school at Pitt. My hatred from Penn State stems from their attitude that they're the superior football team in the state and all around.
Oh, this is beautiful. You idiot. They are. Where do you come off with an inferior program like Pitt, a wannabe program like Pitt, to think that they shouldn't feel that way about your lame ass? Are you kidding? This proves my point. There's another. Jealousy. Pitt, you're in the same realm as Penn State. You got to climb 100 mountains to get to Penn State's level. Stay in your damn little ACC and try to beat the Virginias of the world.
Lost to Toledo in a bowl game this year.
Come on, man.
Started off 7-0.
This is what I mean. Too small, thinking that you're big enough. All right, what
Their
else you
coach
got?
also loves to take shots at Penn State, too.
Oh, of course. There's that jealous little weasel who should have been fired three years ago when he had a chance to beat Penn State and didn't call the right play.
So this guy's checking in saying, if we're going to be all about facts, the play like a champion sign did not come out until 1986 when Lou Holtz commenced it. So it was not around when Rudy was there.
Oh, so it's
another fraudulent thing about
anachronism.
Rudy.
So Rudy never hit the play like a champion sign.
There you go.
He didn't deserve it.
See, it's all fraudulent.
All right, we got somebody else checking in says, I don't see many Notre Dame fans in the area besides in the Mayfair section of Northeast Philadelphia. Me, myself, I've been a Penn State fan all my life, and I'm going to continue to be. Go Lions.
Go Lions. You read that Pitt thing to me again. Can you read that Pitt thing to me again? Oh, he's not.
Someone came in again.
That's all right. Can you read that Pitt?
The Pitt one again? Yeah. Let me
read
get
the
it.
Pitt one again for me.
I went to school at Pitt, and my hatred stems from Penn State, from their attitude that they're the superior team not only in the state but all around.
I want to seriously address this. They're not? Like, what is this guy, delusional? Seriously. How do you text something like that?
I have no idea. I mean, Pitt hasn't been relevant in years. Temple was relevant in 2015.
Well, I mean, that's why it was a big story. Temple beat Penn State was exactly that. Was that it was the program of Pennsylvania got beat by Temple. That's why that was the story.
Pitt's all bent out of shape because Penn State won't play him anymore. Why should you? Why? Why are you going to play Pitt?
See, no, I don't like that.
But why? There's no reason.
Knock him around.
You're in the Big Ten. Like, why would you care about Pitt, little Pitt?
That's exactly it.
You have everything to lose and nothing to gain if you play Pitt, if you're Penn State. What do you have to gain if you beat Pitt? You're supposed to beat them anyway.
Beat by 30, you know? You guys have fun.
All right, let's go back to the phones. Kevin in Wilmington. Kevin, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Kevin.
Hey, Mike.
What's up, Kev?
Mikey Miss.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good, bud. Hey, I just wanted to make this analogy, okay, with Notre Dame. Of course, I'm half and half Irish and half Italian. My father's an Irish Catholic. Love Notre Dame. And we have a tradition in our family that we love it. Anyway, growing up in an Italian neighborhood, a lot of the men there who didn't know anything about baseball loved Joe DiMaggio. And you know why they loved him?
He's Italian.
Because he was Italian.
Yeah. Listen, I'm well aware of all that mentality. It doesn't mean I have to buy into it. It's like people, listen, old school Italian man would go, nobody's better than Rocky Marciano. I go,
Yeah,
come
right.
on, man. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
We live in a more modern world where we can sort through that. But Italians in the old school were trying to get acceptance. So that was their insecurity.
Very good. I agree with that. But also, you have to admit that it has a storied program, Notre Dame, and it has throughout history, right?
Who cares?
Oh, come on.
Really?
Come on, Mike. Don't be a hater.
No, seriously, why would I
today.
possibly care about their storied history?
Well, because it's an American tradition.
It's not an American tradition for me.
Rodney.
It's an Irish Catholic thing that I have no say in. Like I'm not an Irish Catholic, you know. So
I know.
So if if I was an Irish Catholic, I would automatically have to root for a school that I have no attachment to.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, what? I don't get it. School is your heart. You need to be connected to a school to have it in your heart.
Well, okay. How about this? I played with a guy at the high school I went to, and he won a 4-year scholarship to Notre Dame. Went on to be captain. So I got a little bit of.
Great. I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
All right, man. You want to do general knowledge?
I would love to.
Here's your general knowledge question. Oh boy, these are so hard.
Okay.
What? Oh Jesus! What organization owned a ship called the Rainbow Warrior that protested nuclear testing?
Give me that.
I'll give you a hint. It was in Seinfeld. It was in a Seinfeld episode. It's an organization that protests nuclear testing on the seas.
Yeah, you got me, Mike.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to give Ray the same question because Ray, as an avid Seinfeld viewer, should know this. In fact, Larry David was in the raft when he mentioned this organization.
Oh, no.
Larry David, the creator of Jerry Seinfeld, of Curb Your Enthusiasm, and, of course, Seinfeld, was a member of this organization. Now, I'll give you the hint. The head of NBC, who was enamored with Elaine, quit his job as head of NBC and tried to do something noble to attract Elaine's attention and decided to join this organization.
Peace Corps?
Oh,
I got nothing.
You got part of it correct.
Oh.
Play the horn.
Give me that.
Greenpeace. Greenpeace.
That's it. I'm done for the day. How? How did I miss that one?
Check out to Greg and Orland. Greg, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Greg.
Hi, you missed what's going on.
What's up, Greg?
I can't believe nobody knew, first of all, that it was Greenpeace. And second of all, after you gave him the whole thing about Russell being in the boat because he wanted to press Elaine.
Yes.
Greenpeace.
I'll let you know, matey, that you died for a noble cause, matey.
I don't remember Larry David being in the boat. I'm gonna have to go out and watch that episode.
Yeah, he was in the boat.
First of all, one of the best college game day boards that they hold up on TV was Rudy was offside. Perfect. I loved it.
Yeah.
One of the best of all time.
Yeah, people go, I cried. I cried at the end of that movie. You know what I did? I vomited at the end of that movie. Go ahead. What else you got?
I don't even think I watched that movie. I agree with you because I had to call in because you were talking about James Franklin and that stupid quote that he keeps saying, that 99% of the colleges in this country would be happy to have our program. Well, we're not 99%, James.
Yeah, that's how he has romanced.
We're not Georgia,
right.
Alabama.
That's how he's romanced the administration and how he's romanced the softer Penn State fan base.
Yeah, it is so annoying. Bring back Joe Paterno.
It is. So what are we going to do? We're going to hear that same lament if they lose tonight?
Of course we will.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, we're still better than 99%. That's good. That's wonderful. All right.
You know how many people would love the season that we had?
Finals and
Yeah.
it was a great season and blah, 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 blah. You know that's what he's going to say.
Of course.
Because that's all he's got.
All right, brother. Let me give you a general knowledge question. The last one, and then we're going to give out our awards. We're giving out 5 pair of tickets to the auto show for next week. Tom Cruise.
Okay.
Was Tom Cruise in the movie Magnolia?
Yes, he was.
You
was
are correct.
He was the one who visited Jason Robards. Jason Robards was his father.
You are correct. He went around and preached about manpower. And I got to be honest with you. Thank you. Congratulations. I believe that was Tom Cruise's best role ever.
I look forward to watching
Magnolia.
it someday.
Yeah, you'll never.
I'll watch it. Yeah, if
Never
it's on
watch it.
streaming,
He
if it
was
says it's leaving
fantastic
Netflix,
in
I'll probably
Magnolia.
watch it.
You won't watch it.
I'm a scarcity guy. Once it says it's leaving, then I have to watch it. Because what am I going to watch?
Give me one last text on Notre Dame, Penn State. Make it a good one, you punk.
All right, here we got one saying, I'm always going to root for Notre Dame because it runs deep in my bloodlines. I can never change up, even if I'm from Penn State or the state
What
of
does that
Pennsylvania.
mean? It's deep in your bloodlines. What does it mean? You're Irish? And it runs in your bloodline?
Irish by 28 tonight.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
I'll tell you what. You think they're going to win by 20. You said 21.
I was joking when I said that.
All right, hey, what do you think Notre Dame's going to win by?
I think it's going to be a tight football game. I'm going to say 24-23. Like, I think Vegas is right on the line. Like, I don't.
He's not that confident.
You're walking around earlier in the day saying
Listen.
Notre Dame wins by 21, you said. I'll take 20. How about that? I'll take Penn State in 20 for a car. How about that?
I got you with the Hot Wheel.
For a new car.
At the auto show. Real quick. So I just saw this on Twitter. Guy that covers Penn State for blueandgold.com.
Mm-hmm.
Tweeted out, been told the flu is going around the Notre Dame locker room. Those who have it bad. But it sounds like it's mostly backups and special teams
Mike sent
players.
Bill out there on a secret mission, and that's where Bill is right now.
They've all lost their voice. The quarterback has lost his voice. I got no closing argument today. Let's just play the theme. It's time for closing arguments.
Now, closing arguments on the Mike Missanelli Show. Brought to you by Lowenthal and Abrams Injury Attorneys. Injured in an accident, call 800-876-LAWYER or visit lowenthalabrams.com.
I've tried to come up with a reason today why every Irish Catholic has to have a brand with the Notre Dame University and why they root for them. But I'm more ticked off at the people who are jealous of the Penn State thing. If you've gone to a school that doesn't have as grand a tradition of sports, grand tradition of football, you automatically have to get insecure and hate them. And I'm talking about the Temple people, the weasels like Ray, and I'm talking about the Rutgers weasels like Dylan, and especially this weasel over here who goes a la carte on every sport, our producer today, Brendan Gunn. I hate you, okay? Let me just say that for the record.
Go Cats, go Irish.
Oh, my God. James Franklin, please turn it around tonight so we can have freedom from the shackles of the people who like to hold Penn State down by saying, they never win the big game, and his coach never wins a big game. Just beat Notre Dame. I know you're going to get crushed by Ohio State. Just beat this team and this Rudy fascination. Please. Everybody have a great rest of the night. How you doing, Ray? You all right? Thanks for coming in.
I'm doing great.
Appreciate it.
Good to be here.
Brendan, I never had a more miserable time.
Listen, that's for the six. Watch your mouth because the next 6 hours is going to be pretty miserable when you guys go down.
Yeah. All right.
Man, I'll say it. Mike. 3.5 hours with Brendan Gunn has me wanting the Nittany Lions.
You're
to win
rooting for the
tonight.
Nittany Lions tonight?
Why not?
Yes!
Oh, I'm getting that on a drop. Go Nittany Lions by Ray Dunn. Oh, I'm going to be hitting that all the time.
Play the Nittany Lions song, you bastard. Play it. Play it.
I got one better.
No. I dare to play Notre Dame. I'll come in here.
The second key. I have it going right now. You turn up the second key. Thank you. I'm producing from inside of here.
I always wanted to have a Lee Corso moment.
Somebody get a cane and rip him out of that booth.
Psycho Irish.
Have a great rest of the night. Talk to you tomorrow.
will be in net. The Sixers return to the court tomorrow night at 7 as they host the Pelicans, hopefully back with Embiid and Paul George. This update was also brought to you by Corona. Joy Ricky Bo and Tyrone at 97.5 The Fanatics official Birds play.